junk. Scott still dry. All right, y'all. We give praise, esteem, and honor to Abba and Shamayim in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. They pick this up in John chapter 5, verse 39. Search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life, and they which testify of me, and you will not come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you, that you have not the love of Elohim in you. I come in my Abba's name, you receive me not. If another shall come in his own name, him you will receive. How can you believe which receive honor one from another, and not the honor that comes from Elohim only? Do not think that I will accuse you. But there's one that accused you, even Moses, in whom you trust. Had you believed Moses, you would have believed me, for he wrote of me. But if you believe not his writings, how should you believe my words? All esteem and praise of Abba and Shamayim in the name of Yahushua. God bless, Brother Smoke, Shalom, Emma Sharona. Let's get there. Romans 7:17 or 21, pardon me. I find then a law that when I would do good, evil is present with me. For I delight in the law of Elohim after the inward man, but I see another law in my members, warring against the law of my mind, bringing me into the captivity of the law of sin, which is in my members. O wretched man that I am, who shall deliver me from the body of this death? I thank Elohim through Yahushua HaMashiach our Lord. So then with the mind I myself serve the law of Elohim, but with the flesh, the law of sin. Shalom, Jay. So, Galatians 4:1. We got something to add on to that. Look at you. She balling. She balling. She got diapers on deck. So what's good, my G? Shoot, it's all good. Grave on this side, man. What it's looking like on your side? Galatians 4:1, these boys were arguing about something the other day. Some of y'all that happened to be in the room that have made just because I got tired of hearing them niggas talk. Shalom, Brother Marcus. Amen, man. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, dang, I forgot to use this passage. So we're going to use it today in relation to this Galatians 4:1. I don't even remember where we started at the other day. Y'all knows. We'll get it together. Galatians 4:1, though.
Now I say the heir, as long as he is a child, defer nothing from a servant, though he be Lord of all.
Though he be what?
Lord of all.
Go ahead.
But is under tutors and governors.
Now we talked about that. What's the tutor and the governor? That's a guardian, an overseer. Adam had no guardian or overseer. Pause. Hebrews 3:1, because Moses ain't have no guardian or overseer either. See, the point of mentioning that is because Moses and Adam dealt with Yahuwah directly. You understand? See, and I was just talking to a lady about this, and it's interesting that I'm mentioning this now because I just had a conversation about this literally before we clicked this live on. That's why we were a few minutes late. But I want you to hear this here, man. Hit the Hebrew 3:1. We're going to have a talk about Timothy, man.
Wherefore, Kadash, brethren, partakers of the heavenly calling,
that's right.
Consider the apostle and high priest of our profession, Hamashiach Yahushua.
Considering.
Who was faithful to him that appointed him, as also Moses and all his house.
Say he was faithful to him that in all his what?
In all his house.
At his house. Come on.
For this was counted worthy of more esteem than Moses, inasmuch as he who had built the house had more honor than the house.
He that built the house got more honor than the house. Come on with it.
For every house is built by some, but he that built all things, Elohim. Moses truly faithful in all his house.
Moses was truly faithful in all his house.
For testimony of those things which were to be spoken after.
That's right.
But Hamashiach as a son over his own house, whose house are we?
Whose house are what?
Are we?
We his house.
If we hold fast the confidence and rejoicing of the hope firm unto the end.
Paul, see, what he telling you is that Mashiach was the head of the house. Like Moses was the head of the house. Like Adam was the head of the house. See, we were talking with some ladies earlier. They couldn't understand that. As a man, you the head of the house. See, if you remember a long time ago, we did a video and it was called Kings Are to Be Servants. See, the man could be a servant to his family, but he ain't no helpmeet. If you don't know the difference between the helpmeet and the servant, I don't know what to tell you. You know what I'm talking about? As a man, it's not my job to be your helpmeet. It's not my job to help you facilitate your goals. It is not my job to help you facilitate your ambitions and aspirations. You know how we know this? Because it's not Yahuwah's job to facilitate your goals, ambitions, and aspirations. You his wife. That means you aid in where he tell you to aid. You know what I'm talking about? You don't look at him and say, well, what about my goals? Jeremiah 45:5. What about me? You going to hell. That's what about you. And you're not going to hell because you have goals and aspirations. You're going to hell because you want your goals and aspirations to be before his. You can't go into a marriage, into a union, and think that your goals supersede the husband's. How's that going to work when he say, wives, submit to your husbands as unto the Lord in all things? How's that going to work? He say your desire is to be to your husband. See, if you got goals and ambitions that you don't want to yield to a man, then you don't need a husband. That's how that works. That doesn't make you an evil woman. That doesn't make you a wicked woman. That just makes you a woman who is not in the mindset of being a wife. What does that mean for you naturally as a man? That means you don't need to come to the word of Yahuwah if serving this man is not what's on your mind. See, once he read this Jeremiah 45:5, I want you to get me 2 Peter chapter what? Chapter 1? No, chapter 2. And you can give me verse 17 when we get there. Jeremiah 45:5. Listen to what the man say.
And seek you great things for yourself.
You seek you great things for yourself. What he said.
Seek not.
Seek them not.
For behold, I will bring evil upon all flesh, saith Yahuwah, but your life will I give unto you for a prey in all places where you go. That man say, if you seek great things for yourself, don't look for them. See, if you seek great things for yourself, how you going to seek him? This does not mean that you can't have goals. This does not mean that you can't have ambition. This does not mean that you can't have aspirations. But your goals, ambitions, and aspirations can't come before him, because he told you in Luke 14:26, and hate your own life also. A brother I know just posted that saying that's a contradiction when he said honor father and mother, and then the Lord said you got to hate father and mother. I'm like, come on, man. Y'all wiser than this, bro. This man is not telling you to disrespect your parents. Can't nobody come before Yahuwah. Not even yourself. See, you don't focus on father and mother. He told you to hate your wife and your children also. Then he told you to hate your own life. So you know this ain't talking about being disrespectful and dishonorable to nobody. Don't put nothing before me, man. That law say your desire will be to your husband and he will rule over you. If your desire is not to your husband, there's no way he can rule over you, because you're going to seek to rule over him, but be co-partners. That's not how this works. That's not how this works. You want a co-partner, go out there in the world, get you a sinner nigga. And you could be all the co-partner you want to be, because you ain't co-partners with Yahuwah. You might be co-heirs with his son, but you're not co-partners with him. We just talked to somebody about that in Genesis 41. Shalom, Brother Shaul. That man said that Joseph had all the powers he said, but in throne, I'm greater than you. Don't get it twisted. That man greater than you. See, it's hard for women to accept that man greater than you, because he was made in the image of Elohim and you was made in the image of man. You know what I'm talking about? There's a difference. Shalom, bro. There's a difference. It doesn't mean, remember what the book say, he that ruleth amongst men must be just. So just because he's greater than you, meaning he's greater than you in power and authority. That's what all that means. He's greater than you in power and authority. And as a man, you shouldn't yield your power and authority. You shouldn't use your power and authority to rule with rigor. You shouldn't use your power and authority to be a douchebag. You know what I'm talking about? That's not what you get it for. But we already talked about that, man. You give somebody power and you'll see what type of person they really is. Some people can't handle power and authority. And of course, they're going to use it to their own aims to destroy everyone who come in their path. But see, some people want to manipulate their way into power and authority, to usurp it, to use it to their own advantage, which eventually they will destroy themselves. Because that's all these people were talking about earlier. You want somebody to yield. See, it's funny to me that I hear a multitude of women scream, the men ain't men. And then when somebody's talking about being a man, no, you shouldn't be that way. That tell me you don't want no man, ho. And I say ho disrespectfully, because you ain't no woman. You don't want no man. Because men have structure, order, and discipline, aims, visions, and structure. They got things that they trying to do, and it's got to be all hands on deck. You can't be with a man and say, oh, I'm going to be here in the house to benefit off of your work, but I'm not going to do nothing towards it because I'm too busy focused on what I'm finna do. There's no man who is of any reputable character, any reputable honor, and has any type of work ethic, period, that's going for that. If he go for that, he a sucker. He's not going for that. And it really, shalom, bro, and it really reflects on what kind of woman you are. You know, I told this lady earlier, I say as a man, if you got something going on, your desire would be for your wife to work for you. As a woman, if you know your man got something going on and you don't want to work for him, you want to work for another man, what that say about you?
That doesn't mean there's a multitude of things that can say now. That can say you don't believe in your man. And if you ain't believing what he had going on, why you signed up for it? Because you should want to be dedicated into his success is your success, which means that's your offspring's success. Do you know I had some ladies get offended because I said that the children that I have were my seed? They're like, what about your wife? But they my children. I told them it's funny that you hear women say that they children and nobody says nothing, but it's offensive to you. I say, lady, as a man, them children are my responsibility. But you want the man to take on his financial, mental, instructional responsibilities, but you don't want him to say that them his seeds though. And these people in the word now, allegedly. Think about that. Give me 2 Peter chapter 2, verse 17, man. We out here in a bad way, man.
These are wells without water, clouds that are carried with a tempest, to whom the midst of darkness is reserved forever.
Listen.
For when they speak great swellings of vanity, they allure through the lust of the flesh. Wantonness, those that were clean escape from them who live in error. While they promise them liberty, they themselves are the servants of corruption.
That's what people don't realize. People tell you, Christ, Christ, Christ. They promise you freedom, but they corrupt because they sinners.
For of whom a man is overcome, of the same is he brought in bondage. For if after they have escaped the pollutions of the world through the knowledge of the Master and Savior Yahushua Mashiach,
you don't escape the pollutions of the world through the gospel. Listen to him.
They are again entangled therein and overcome. The latter and is worse with them than the beginning.
Hashem, what's good, my G?
For it had been better for them not to have known the way of righteousness than after they have known it, to return from the Kadash commandment delivered unto them.
It's better for you to have never heard the gospel than to hear the gospel and go back. It would be better for you to never have heard it. It would be better for you to have never have known it. Come on, man.
But it has happened unto them according to the true proverb, the dog turned to his own vomit again, and the soul that was washed to her wallowing in the mire.
That man said, man, it's like that proverb, man. You going right back to your boo-boo. You going to play a boo-boo. Come on, man. Let's go back to Hebrews chapter 3 before we hit this 1 Timothy, man. Peace, Brother Nate. Come on with it. Shalom, doubt, man.
Here we go, verse 7.
Hebrews 3 and 7. Listen to it.
Say, wherefore, as the Ruach HaKadosh say, today, if you will hear his voice, harden not your hearts as in the provocation in the day of temptation in the wilderness.
Good, man. Come on back to 1 Timothy. Shalom, Brother Marvin, man. Come over here to 1 Timothy chapter 3, man. Listen. Now, you just heard that. This is what I was explaining to this lady, man. This is literally what I was talking to her brother about just now. And y'all done heard me say this plenty of times. A lot of people don't want to be over no congregation, man. A lot of people just want to preach the word. Matter of fact, when you get that, give me Ezekiel 3 and 1. A lot of people want to preach the word. Matter of fact, make it Ezekiel 33. A lot of people want to preach the word, but you don't want the responsibility that come along with that. You know what I'm talking about? See, a lot of people, they don't, 33 and 1 is fine. A lot of people don't want the responsibility that come along with that. Because most people, you just want to drop some precepts and go. That's not how they work, man. That's not how any of this works. Ezekiel 33 and 1. Listen to what it says, man.
Again, the word of Yahuwah came unto me, saying, Son of man, speak to the sons of your people, and say unto them, when I bring the sword upon the land, if the people of the land take a man of their coast and set him for their watchman, if when he see the sword come upon the land, he blow the trumpet and warn the people, then whosoever hear the sound of the trumpet and take not warning, if the sword come and take him away, his blood shall be upon his own head.
Remember he say that sword, man. Remember he say he gonna come with fire and the sword and plead with all flesh, and the slain of Yahuwah shall be many. See, this is what I was telling the lady earlier. She talking about you sound like a ward. Look at, man. Let me tell y'all something, man. Just so y'all know this here, right? So I can be ever so clear. I do not care what y'all got going on. What do I mean by that? Just for those who ain't never heard this before. I do not care enough to do personal investigations on any of your personal lives. Your personal life is your personal life. You are a grown man. You know what this word say you're supposed to do, and you're supposed to stand on that. If you think I'm finna be calling people and asking around about what brother such and such doing, what brother such and such doing, I ain't finna do that. Because if I want to know what you were doing, I call you directly and ask you. You know what I'm talking about? I'm saying that because most people be on that tip of, oh, the pastor, the preacher be all in people personal business. That's what I mean when I say I don't care. I do not care enough to be trying to delve into y'all personal business. I do not care enough to be able to tell y'all men how to run your households or any of that. I'm going to give you the framework of the word and what the word supposed to do. That's your house. You run it how you see fit. If you ain't going outside the bounds of that word, it is not my place nor my bounds to be stepping in here telling you what to do in your household. Now, if you disrespecting your wife and disrespecting your children and you out of pocket, you going to get straight. You know what I'm talking about? straight up and down. But if 40 tell you, nah, brother, you can't do that. No, that's not my job. That's not my job. I know a lot of brothers be in organizations and I'm not going to tell you how to run your house. That's not my house. I don't live there. I'm not married to that woman and them ain't my children. You know what I'm saying? Whether I agree with what you're doing or not. If you're doing something I don't agree with it, I just talk to you about it. Maybe there could be a better way you could go about that. But at the end of the day, I have to give you the autonomy to be a man. You are a man. You did it. You pay for the rent there. You pay for the food there. You buy the clothes. You give them sleeps. You give them eats. You give them all that. That's not my place. Some brothers may not agree with that. I personally don't care. At the end of the day, my personal view is I have to have enough respect for y'all as a man to allow you to be a man. How can you blossom into the man that you need to be if you're not even allowed to become that? That makes no sense to me. You know what I'm saying? That means you might make some mistakes. You know what I'm saying? You might do this, that, there, and the third. But you're going to have to go through that. You know what I'm saying? That's just what that is, man. You know what I'm saying? Now, what do I do care about? If you out of pocket. And when I say you out of pocket, I ain't talking about necessarily you doing some type of sinning or something. You know what I'm talking about? But we're going to sit down and we're going to have a conversation with you, man, so you can get it right, because the concern is your perfection. That's the concern. But now if you out of pocket grossly and somebody talk, and I'm going to talk to you a couple times, third time, man, I'm going to chastise you after that. Nigga, do what you want. Go to hell all I can, because clearly that's what you want to do. Because what I told this lady was, if there's a dude around here, man, we're not going to let nobody be shacked up with somebody and we know they fornicating for 6-7 months straight, and ain't nobody finna say nothing. Y'all not going to get married? At least that's what's going to be conversation, bro. You going to get married? You going to marry the woman, bro? You going to leave her alone? What you going to do? Yeah, no. She like, no, you can't just put people out. Read her two out of the book. That man say don't fool with the people. Get the people from around there. You ain't supposed to, if there's a dude in there and you know he taking hot dogs in his buns, you ain't supposed to let that man sit around there doing that. Then this woman had a nerve to talk about, yeah, because you know love them like to touch on kids. I said, baby, we ain't got them problems. We ain't got no grown men around here touching on no children. We ain't got that going on. I said, baby, if one of these niggas got caught touching on some children, that nigga going to jail. Because I don't care what none of you niggas say, I'm calling the police on this nigga. You know what I'm talking about? Your wife ain't got to call him. I'm going to call him. Y'all need to come investigate this nigga. You know what I'm talking about? Because this nigga need to go to jail. This nigga got something going on that ain't right before God. That nigga need to go to jail. I'm not joking about that. Y'all know how I feel about, hey, man, we ain't co-signing. Y'all don't need to be putting your hands on that woman. If you get to the point you need to put their hands on that woman, y'all need to be separate for a little bit so y'all can have some space to reconcile. Because that's not the spirit of God working in you. If you done got to the point you feel like you want to put your hands on your wife, you would have to know that's the spirit of the devil in you. You would have to know that. You would have to know that. You can't tell me you know godly man and now you let the wrath of man work through you that you done got so angry that you put your hands on your wife, bro, and you think your prayer's going to be heard and you going to get into heaven. Boy, you going to hell, boy. You know what I'm talking about? Like, what are you talking about? Now, I said all that to say this. I was telling this woman this because as the head of the congregation, you are as if you're the father of that house. That's why you can see in a lot of situations and circumstances in all congregations all across the world, people don't like for the father of that house to actually know what niggas is really doing. That's why you want to whisper, he doing such and such. Well, go get him then. Don't nobody never bring him. Or you don't never bring no 2-3 witnesses. Because we used to, I'm going to just go tell on you, and then you think he supposed to come straighten them because you told on them. And that's not what the book say. Book say go get 2-3 witnesses. Don't come to me talking about what somebody did if you're not going to follow protocol, what this book say. Because I'm not investigating that. I'm not investigating that. I promise you I have. And y'all know I ain't going to do it either. You know what I'm talking about? Because the law say, you make that accusation while that person's standing right there, then we can investigate that. If you gonna make an accusation against somebody and you not gonna bring them before me with that accusation, I done told you about that. All that calling each other, making accusations, all that. Man, that junk is out of pocket. Cut it out. That's not book. That's nigga stuff. That's not what the saints do. See, we don't do that type of stuff because you worry about image and how people look. That's not what this book say it's supposed to be done. You know what I'm talking about? All that's going to do is cause disorder and folly. If you're going to make an accusation against somebody, the books say you're supposed to come before the elders of the assembly and make that accusation. So that there can be an investigation done so that judgment can be executed to determine who is just and who is unjust in that matter. That's how this book say to do it. And y'all know that because this is not the first time I ever said this here. You know what I'm talking about? And I was explaining that to these people earlier. This is what the book say to do. See, we'll scream, we Torah keepers, this, that, there, and the third. No, you're not. Because when it comes to certain situations, you don't want to do it how the man say to do it. Because that means there's going to be accountability. And that also means that you're not going to be able to be throwing and lobbing false accusations against people because your feelings hurt or because you upset. You know what I'm talking about? Or you trying to manipulate a situation. This is not gender specific. This is either or. You know what I'm talking about? See, we don't want to we don't do that. See, I don't rock with that. You know why? Because I'm going to go to hell. If I go with that, I'm going to hell. And we're going to read that in a minute. I'm not going to hell for you niggas for whatever y'all got going on. I promise I'm not. You know what I'm saying? But see, people who preach the word, you don't realize that. And you don't realize that if you don't handle certain situations as far as judgment is concerned, counsel is concerned, governing the assembly is concerned, you going to hell. You know what I'm talking about? Because that means you wasn't guarding it, you wasn't overseeing his house properly. See, I'm gonna read that about that overseeing that house and that guardian. I'm gonna show it to you. Come on with it, son.
In verse 5 of Ezekiel 33.
Shalom, bro. Ezekiel 33 and 5.
He said, he heard the sound of the trumpet and took not warning. His blood shall be upon him, but he that take warning shall deliver his soul. But if the watchman see the sword come and blow not the trumpet, and the people be not warned, if the sword come and take person from among them, he is taken away in his iniquity. But his blood will I require at the watchman's hand.
So you see what he said? You dropping word, and you don't warn them people. See, we ain't talking about telling what a watchman is. Just because you an Israelite don't make you no watchman, man. Notice he said that they set him up, put him in the coast, right? That means it's somebody who's been set up for that position, huh?
This is safar, to look out or about, to keep watch, to observe, to watch.
To look out, to watch or observe. Or guess what that is? That's a nice overseer, ain't it? So see, that's dealing with preachers, man. If you are a preacher and you don't warn them people, you going to hell. You know what I'm talking about? That means every person who died in their sins, them sins going with you. Every man that died in their sins and you ain't warning, them sins going with you. On top of whatever you got going on. Oh, Lord. That's tough right there. Come on with it, son.
He say, so you, O son of man, I have set you a watchman unto the house of Yasharal. Therefore you shall hear the word at my mouth and warn them from me.
Warn them from who?
From me.
Okay.
When I say unto the wicked, O wicked man, you shall surely die. If you do not speak to warn the wicked from his way, that wicked shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at your hand.
That man said, if you don't warn them sinners, boy, you going to hell.
Nevertheless, if you warn the wicked of his way to turn from it, if he do not turn from his way, he shall die in his iniquity, but you have delivered your soul.
But if you preach that word to him, boy, you good.
Therefore, you son of man, speak unto the house of Yasharal, saying, thus you speak, saying, if our transgressions and our sin upon us, and we pine away in them, how shall we then live?
What the Lord said.
Say unto them, as I live, saith Yahuwah.
That man swearing on his name now.
I have no pleasure in the death of the wicked, but that the wicked turn from his way and live.
You heard that? That man swore on his name. He ain't got no pleasure for you to go to hell.
Turn you from your evil ways, for why will you die, O house of Yasharal?
What he said after that?
Therefore, you son of man, say unto the children of your people, the righteousness of the righteous shall not deliver him in the day of his transgression.
How did we just keep reading this here? Hey, man, because you say, I've been living clean, and I can go commit a sin, he said, you still going to hell. It won't save you. Listen.
Him in the day of his transgression, as for the wickedness of the wicked, he shall not fall thereby in the day that he turned from his wickedness. Neither shall the righteous be able to live for his in the day that he sinned.
See, a lot of people feel like just because you've been obeying, you got a license to sin one day. And you trust to your righteousness, meaning you trust because you kept the law that you should get some mercy when you go do something out of pocket. But he said, if the wicked man turn from his sin and live upright, he said, I won't remember his sins no more. But that righteous man who trusted to his righteousness that he could go sin, you going to hell. Listen.
So when I shall say to the righteous, he shall surely live, if he trusts to his own righteousness.
If he trusts to his own what?
His own righteousness.
If he trusts to his own what?
His own righteousness.
Tell him what trust is right there, man. See, that's what people be really meaning, man, because we was in the room the other day, man, and this lady was trying to explain what what we always preach.
That's batak, to trust, and to have confidence, to
So
be confident.
If you confident in your own Zadok, that man say, boy, listen to him, read it from the top.
When I shall say to the righteous, he shall surely live. If he trusts to his own righteousness and commit iniquity, all his righteousness shall not be remembered.
That man say, I won't remember none of it.
But for his iniquity that he hath committed, he shall die for it.
You going to hell.
Again, when I say unto the wicked, you shall surely die. If he turn from his sin and do that which is lawful and right, the wicked restore the pledge, give again that he have robbed, walk in the statutes of life.
This is the rehashing the same thing he said in Ezekiel 18. Make you a new heart and a new spirit. Now go to 1 Timothy 3:1, man.
This a true saying, if a man desire the office of a bishop, he desire a good work.
My bad. That's my bad. Read Acts 20:20 before you read that. That's my bad, y'all. I jumped the gun. Acts 20:20.
How I kept back nothing that was profitable,
Give
but
me
have
19. Listen what this man say.
serving the Lord with all humility of mind and with many tears and temptations which befell me by the lying and weight of the Yahudim. How I kept back nothing that was profitable, but have showed you and have taught you publicly and from house to house, testifying both to the Yahudim and also to the Greeks, repentance toward Elohim and faith toward our master Yahushua HaMashiach.
See, I was telling my homeboy there yesterday, man, I can't speak for none of these people what they got going on. But boy, I ain't keeping nothing back. You know what I'm saying? See, some people, they like to keep stuff back because they feel like that's going to... I'll give you an example. I hate to use this as an example, but it's true. Man, when I was hustling, the dude who I was copping work from, he used to front me. You know what I'm saying? Ready Rock, man. You know what I'm saying? He used to shoot me like 300, 400, 500. You know what I'm saying? Jugglers, man. But you could really make 40 off of them. See, what he wanted me to do was sell jugglers, but I would bust them down. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to make that 40 because I got to get me. You know what I'm talking about? You're not finna pimp me because I ain't no damn fool. But I mentioned that because he ain't want to teach a nigga how to cook no work. He know that my homeboys was already cooking work and a nigga knew how to cook work. Now, the reason why he did that led me to keep this information back so I can keep you under my thumb. Do you know what I'm talking about? And actually stunt your development where you will have to be grossly dependent upon me. And I told some of y'all this before. One day I was sitting with him, man. He was like, I said, yeah, man, when you going, show me how to whip up the word. He was like, what you want to know that for? And I looked at him. I said, that's a useful skill to have, and walked off. Because I wanted him to know that, nigga, I'm already doing that. I really asked you that to see how you would respond so you could reveal the type of character that you possess. So I know definitively what manner of man that I'm dealing with and conduct myself with you accordingly. You know what I'm saying? See, sometimes some people, you want to be over aggressive to prove your point, this, that, and the third, when all you have to do is just give, subtle inklings to say certain things that a man can reveal his heart so that you conduct yourself accordingly. Like I say, man, the game is chess, it ain't checkers, even though chess is not necessarily truly a game of life because life don't move like a chess game in reality. But you have to understand how people move so you can be a couple moves ahead of them. You have to understand when people think that you're stupid and retarded, and so that you can actually show them that you're not. But see, I mentioned that because he wanted my faith and hope to be in him. See, Paul is letting you know that I didn't keep nothing back from you because as he told the assembly in Corinth, that I want your faith and hope to be in Elohim. The same thing that Psalm 78 say. So you're not going to keep nothing back because you want the people to be in God because you don't belong to me. Because all I am is an overseer of someone else's belongings. You know what I'm talking about? That's why we mentioned that when you see that Moses, Adam, and Yahushua, they did not have tutors and governors. Now, Yahushua, when he was a child, he had tutors and governors, meaning his parents. You know what I'm talking about? As far as Mary and Joseph is concerned. But when you turn around and you look at Moses and Adam, who was their overseer? No one. Because they were dealing with Yahuwah directly. Continue, good sir.
And now, behold, I go bound in the Ruach unto Jerusalem, not knowing the things that shall befall me there, save that the Ruach HaKadosh witness in every city, saying that bonds and afflictions abide me. But none of these things move me, neither count I my life dear unto myself.
That's right.
So that I might finish my course with joy in the ministry which I have received of the Lord Yahushua to testify the gospel of the mercy of Elohim.
Talk to him.
And now behold, I know that you all, among whom I have gone preaching the Malkuth of Elohim, shall see my face no more.
Talk to him.
Wherefore I take you to record this day that I, pure from the blood of all,
Talk to
for I
him.
have not shunned to declare unto you all the counsel of Elohim.
Mm-hmm.
Take heed therefore unto yourselves.
Take heed therefore to yourselves. Why, Paul?
And to all the flock over that which the Ruach HaKadosh hath made you overseers.
Who made them overseers?
The Ruach HaKadosh.
Who made them
The
overseers?
Ruach HaKadosh.
God made you overseers over who?
Over the assembly of Elohim,
Talk to him.
which he have purchased with his own blood.
See, now that means that those he made you pastors, he's made you overseers. That means you a tutor and a governor, if you would. It's your job to watch over another man's belong, or a steward, if you will. You know what I'm talking about? That's why he said a steward must be found faithful. Come on back over here to 1 Timothy 3 now.
This a true saying, if a man desire the office of a bishop, he desire a good work.
Listen.
A bishop then must be blameless.
Must be what?
Blameless.
What else?
The husband of one wife.
What else?
Vigilant.
What
sober.
else?
Of good behavior. Given to hospitality. Apt to teach.
Skill. Come on.
Not given to wine. No
He ain't no
striker.
drunk. He
Not
don't
greedy. A filthy lucre.
He ain't greedy for unjust gain.
But patient, not a brawler, not covetous. One that rule well his own house, having
He ruled well his own what?
his own house.
He ruled well his own what?
His own house.
Having his children in what?
Subjection with
See,
all gravity.
With all what?
With all gravity.
See, one thing, man, as a man of Elohim, boy, there's no way in the world your children should be moving freely in your house, doing what they want, when they want, however they want, to whatever they want. Much less talking about you want to be a preacher. Because if you do that, that means you don't even rule your own house well. Ain't no way in the world that child should feel like I can do what I want in the house. That's utterly insane. Because that means you're going to allow them. That's why he said you ought to know how to behave yourself in the house of Elohim. Because then when they come in the house of God, they can think they can do what they want in there. So you would already know you ain't fit to be no preacher because you can't rule your house. Your children don't even respect your rules in your house. You know what I'm talking about? As a man, that's supposed to be one of the first stamped down things. And we got rules in this house. And every child in here gonna follow him. It ain't no matter of is you gonna follow him. If you gonna follow him, you gonna follow him. And see, I ain't got to beat you or whoop you or none of that. I'm just gonna hold you accountable to what I tell you to do in this house. I ain't got to come across the top rope on you because I'm not finna be in the house beating on no children. I done told y'all this before. Your problem is you lack patience and you feel like you shouldn't have to repeat yourself and this, that, there, and the third, but yet Yahuwah will repeat himself to you and you want him to do that. You want Yahuwah to have patience with you. You can't have, I done told you before. Why y'all niggas get stressed out with niggas who you talk stop doodling on themselves? Why you don't got the patience and endurance to enforce what you want in your house? You know what I'm saying? As a man, nigga, you out here working yourself to the bone, nigga, out here grinding. That's your damn house. And you mean to tell me you gonna let them children do what they want to do in your house? And you go out here and work for it? You went out here and paid for it? You paid for the things in it? And they feel like, I don't give a damn, I'm gonna tear it up. Oh, no, you not. I promise you not. I promise you not. I'm waiting on Joanne because I see she gonna go without a lot of things. I already see it. I can already see it. She gonna be upset. Because if you tear up something I bought you, you ain't gonna get another one. And I ain't gonna let nobody buy you another one either. Because you gonna learn. You know what I'm talking about? You gonna learn. I ain't doing it. I refuse to do it. Absolutely. Because she gonna learn. Because she ain't finna get with no man and behave that way and think that's what a man's job is to give her what she want because she tear it up. Oh, that's what you're supposed to do. That's what my daddy did. You're lying to me. Tear your clothes up, nigga, you'll be naked. I buy your clothes from Goodwill. That's what you'll go out here in. Tear your shoes up, you'll be barefoot. Break your bed, just sleep on the floor. Tear your toys up, they're going in the trash. I tell you, clean your room up, you don't want to do it, I throw them away. I don't give a damn. But you're going to do what, you're going to follow these rules in here. That's what you're going to do. That's not up for discussion. That's not up for debate. Oh, absolutely not. And I say that meaning that if you over the house of God, what you think that's supposed to be? You think you're supposed to let the people come in here and do what they want? Move how they want? No, that's not how that goes. I just seen a dude posting this junk, you know what I'm talking about, discussion about should women speak at church, and I'm like, you niggas so dumb that y'all don't even know he talking about in an assembly, brother. Like the actual gathering of the people, not that women can't never talk. Like, what's wrong with y'all? Because there's a structure and an order how this man's house supposed to be ran. The problem is there's too many men, it's tender dicks, you're weak in the back, you're yellow belly, you ain't got no spine, because you worry about how she gonna react and move if you put your foot down and say, this is what's going down. You know what I'm talking about? This is what it is. This is not up for discussion. This wasn't a suggestion. You know what I'm saying? This is what it is. You know what I'm talking about? And see, you have to be like that so that when your wife enforce that, the children can respect it. Because I done been tell you that for years. You have to be firm so that when she say something that they know you gonna back them. If they know you weak-willed and you gonna do this here, they're not gonna respect your wife. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to respect what mama say. They're not going to respect that. Y'all already know, but I wouldn't give a damn. Who? I wish one of these children in here would come to me talking about, well, what about this? What your mama said this here. If that's what your mama said, that's what it is. I don't care about your tears. I don't care about your whining. I don't care. Ain't no passes. Ain't no passes for that boy in there. If she tell him that nigga got to go to bed, I ain't finna let him sit up. Nigga, get your black behind in the bed. That's what your mama said. That's what you doing. Period. Ain't nothing to discuss. I wouldn't care if I ain't seen the nigga all day. If she said he's supposed to be in the bed at 8:15, then I should have got home in time enough to spend some time with him. I'll catch you tomorrow. You know what I'm talking about? I'll catch you tomorrow, son. I promise you that, because I can't allow a single solitary inch to be done in this house where any of them children feel like they can disrespect my wife in my house or feel like I ain't got to listen to her. Because if you don't listen to your mama, I'm going to knock you out. Simple as that. I'm not going for that. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely not. No, absolutely not. That's right. Can't have them like Eli's sons. You let them out here unrestrained. You got to be railed. You got to look here. I'm glad he mentioned that. That's why Eli died, didn't it? Get it for him, man. 1 Samuel 2, man. Shoot, I'm glad he mentioned that, man. That's a prime example of what I'm talking about. Praise God. What it is, man. 1 Samuel 2, man. Give me about verse 5, man. I don't remember where to start at. We'll get there sometime.
Say, full have hired out themselves for bread.
That don't even sound right. Sound like we reading something we ain't supposed to be reading. What you in there giggling about?
It's just a little bit
verse 12.
Mm-hmm.
First Samuel 2 and 12. That's what I want.
Now the sons of Eli, sons of Belial,
worthless niggas.
They knew not Yahuwah, and the priest's custom with the people, when any man offered sacrifice, the priest servants came while the flesh was in seething, with the flesh hook of 3 teeth in his hand.
And he struck
into the pan or kettle or cauldron or pot.
All that the flesh hook
brought up the priest took for himself.
So they did.
And Shiloh unto all the Israelites that came there.
Also before they burnt
the fat, the priest's servants came and said to the man that sacrificed,
give flesh
to roast for the priest.
For he will not have
sodden flesh of you, but raw.
And any man
said unto him, let them not fail to burn the fat presently, and take as your soul desires.
Then he would answer him,
but you shall give now, and if not, I will take by force.
Wherefore the sin of the young men was very great
before Yahuwah.
For the men did what?
Abhorred the offering of Yahuwah.
But Samuel
ministered before Yahuwah, a child girded with a linen ephod.
Come on.
Moreover, his mother made him a little coat and brought to him from year to year when she came up with her husband to offer the yearly sacrifice. Mm-hmm. And Eli baruched Elkanah and his wife and said, Yahuwah give you seed of this woman for the loan which is lent to Yahuwah. And they went unto their own home. Yahuwah
visited Hannah,
so that she conceived and bare 3 sons and 2 daughters. And the child Samuel grew before Yahuwah.
Now Eli was very old.
And heard all that his sons did unto all Yasharal.
What them sucker niggas did, man.
And how they lay with the women that assembled at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation.
Well, them boy around there knocking that monkey down, boy, at the church house. Come on.
And he said unto them, why do you such things? For I hear of your evil dealings by all this people.
Go ahead.
Nay, my sons, no good report that I hear. You make Yahuwah's people to transgress. If one man sin against another, the judge shall judge him. But if a man sin against Yahuwah, who shall entreat for him?
Woo!
Notwithstanding, they hearken not unto the voice of their father, because of Yahuwah would slay them.
See, it had got so bad. See, he want to say, nay, my sons, why you transgress? but he ain't stop them long before that. He supposed to got they funky behind up out of there. He wasn't running that house like he was supposed to. You got to run that house, man. There's no way in the world that children should have autonomy in your house. There's no way in the world. You know what I'm saying? And I've been telling you this here, man. Them children supposed to be work. I told you, boy, my granddad had me cleaning that bathtub at 5 years old, man. Anything they do, they ought to clean. They got a bathroom, they ought to clean it. You got a kitchen, you cook, they ought to be cleaning. You know what I'm talking about? Where else they gonna learn to begin to understand the framework? There's no way in the world that you should allow their room to look like a hurricane hit it. Take all their stuff and throw it in the trash. Maybe they'll learn to pick it up then. Some of them niggas big enough to wash their own goddamn clothes. You know what I'm talking about? Absolutely. Like what's going on? Man, I wish these niggas would come in here and tell my house, boy, I'm coming off the top rope like Macho Man Randy Savage on these niggas, man. You understand me? Nigga, I done been out there in that heat, man. Been in the funky behind house. See, if you know, we just in a nasty goddamn house. Just nasty. And you think I went through all that to buy this stuff for some bald-headed niggas that tear it up? Because they got my DNA? Hell no. You're going to learn to respect people's property. That's what you're going to learn to do. You're going to learn to respect my property. Because I'll bust you upside the head with this bottom, nigga. Ain't no way. We just say that commit. See, no, we go in a lot of houses. You can tell them children, tore them houses up. And these goddamn grown people sat there and watched them do it. Lying to me. That's like giving your teenage child your car and they come back, they done put dents in it. They tore your whole car up. You like to say, it's all right. No, it ain't all right. God damn it. Hell wrong with you. But I said all that, all those sides. You got to run your house, man. You have to already have that framework in your house if you even want the thought process to being over the house of God. Because if you ain't willing to hold your children and your wife accountable in your own house, you ain't going to be willing to do it in God's house. Now, I said all them things in a humorous fashion to get to this serious point of that matter. That's why you have to rule your house. Read it again in Timothy, good sir. 1 Timothy, what, 3 and 7?
Mm-hmm. No, verse 5.
1 Timothy 3 and 5.
Verse 4.
Come on, verse 4 then.
To one that rule well his own house, having his children in subjection with all gravity.
Mm-hmm.
For if a man know not how to rule his own house, how shall he take care of the house of Elohim?
See, and you see that? You're an overseer, which means that you're under a tutor and governor because you got an overseer. Get him 1 Peter, man. Chapter 5. Verse 1. See, I didn't tell you because I was telling the lady there earlier, man, like, baby, you serious? After that, we're going to go to Hebrews 13 and we're going to move on. You know what I'm saying? But I'm telling her, like, nah, baby, that's not how this word. Like the word tell you how this stuff's supposed to go. That's not how that word. You just can't let people just run around free doing whatever in the body of Elohim. That's not how this works. That's not how this works. Go ahead, man.
The elders which are among you, I exhort, whom am also an elder and a witness of the sufferings of Mashiach, also a partaker of the esteem that shall be revealed. Feed the flock of Elohim which is among you, taking the oversight, not by constraint.
Taking the what?
The oversight.
Tell them what oversight is. And constraint.
Episcopeo, that's to look upon, to inspect, to oversee, to look after, to care for.
To be the guardian. He said, don't be the guardian with constraint. What is constraint?
That's by force or constraint.
So you ain't supposed to take this oversight by force. See, a lot of people, they want to force their way into that position. It's he whom I send, or whoever he sent that they appointed you to the task. Because what would he just read? That the Ruach HaKodesh made you overseers for. God got to put you over these people because remember, you over the people, but the people don't answer to you, but you answer to Yahuwah. You know what I'm talking about? It's your job to watch over the people, but the people, that's what I meant when I said that earlier. Y'all don't answer to me. You know what I'm talking about? I'm just supposed to remember what he told you in Chronicles, man. When you judge, you don't judge for man, you judge for Elohim. That's why you don't judge with no respect to persons. See, a lot of dudes, they'll judge with respect to persons, or they think somebody judge with respect to person when they get held accountable because these niggas pussy. A lot of these men ain't men. They don't want to be held accountable for nothing that they doing. They know they doing stuff that ain't just, it ain't right. It makes absolutely no sense. You know what I'm saying? You got too many men, as far as Hebrews is concerned, that want every man to go along with everything they doing. I'm not going along with everything you doing, bro. You know what I'm saying? Not if it's wrong. Peace yet to die, man. Not if it's wrong. But see, brothers will say that, man. You just saying that it's such and such. Man, sit your goofy behind down somewhere, man. Come on, bro. You know what funny? I'm gonna tell you this. You know what funny today, man? A woman got mad because I was like, I married my wife because she added value to my life before I married her. This lady say, all women have value. I said, no, they don't. She went on something else talking about you have value as a human being. Baby, we not talking about that. You ain't got no value just because you a woman. I don't know you. Just like a man shouldn't have value to you as a woman. You don't know that man. There has not been a mutual conversation, a mutual exchange of value between each other for you to value this person. You know what I'm saying? You actually have to know this person, walk with this person, be intertwined with this person to be able to determine that this person is as valuable to your life. No man is valuable to you just because he told you you were cute. You don't know this man. You don't know what value he possesses to be able to even impart. That woman is not valuable to you because you like the way her breasts sit up or her booty look or her face look. She's not valuable to you. You don't know that woman. Oh, everybody's valuable. Get your goofy behind out of here, man. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And I've been telling y'all this for years, man. The book tell you this, man. As a man, this book tell you this. Don't lust after that woman's beauty with your eyelids. Don't get caught up with this. A whore is a deep pitch. A beautiful, fair woman without discretion is like a pig with a jewel in its snout. You actually have to take the time to prove people out to see what their value is. See, a lot of it, and I told you all this numerous times, a lot of people's problem is if somebody don't fit what you want to try to denigrate and talk down on them people instead of just accepting the fact that that's just not the woman for you. Or that's just not the man for you. Like I told him, the dude be like, that woman want to work and have a career. That don't make her evil. That just make her, she got something going on, brother. That's what she want to do. That means she just don't fit with what you got going on. Why you got a down talker, man? That don't make her nothing than a woman who want to do X. She just want to be independent. That don't, man, maybe this woman want to do something. You know what I'm talking about? And if that's what she want to do, brother, that's what she want to do. Why that bother you so much, nigga? Because you couldn't conform her to be what you wanted her to be? Nigga, she is who she is. You know what I'm talking about? That's what y'all nigga problem is, man. You want people to be what you want them to be instead of accepting them for who they are, man. They are who they are. And they own what they own. Deal with it, nigga, or leave them alone. You know what I'm talking about? Like that just don't make sense, man. You got dudes who want to turn a woman into a housewife who don't want to be a housewife. So why would you do that, brother? Now she gonna hate you. I ain't talking about somebody who just be like, I just want to go to work. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about somebody who wanted to do something, was doing something, actively had a career or a business ambition. You know what I'm talking about? And you're like, no, don't do that. Stay home with me. Y'all ain't even got no kids yet. What's she staying there for? How y'all niggas make a woman a housewife? Y'all ain't got no churn. I don't even know how that works. Y'all ain't even got no churn. What is she doing? She gonna be in there with the pool boy. You gonna come home like that damn movie we were talking about yesterday, man. But it was terrible because there wasn't no woman in there. She said, why Mark home early? You gotta hear the commentary from the nigga from the real. I cut the movie on last night. I cut it off. I ain't gonna lie. I'm talking about, I said, maybe this movie gonna be funny. They led with this abominable scene. I said, you can't start the movie like this. You know what I'm saying? Lady went to go pour gasoline on this nigga and all. She thinking that he cheating on her with a woman. It's a man in there. She should have set him on fire. She playing with the lighter. She don't play with it, burn him. You don't go threaten to burn a nigga. You done pour gasoline on him. Go all the way. Shoot, you done went this far. Might as well finish the job. Set that nigga on fire. You know what I'm talking about? But all jokes aside, man. Listen. For real, man. She should have set that nigga on fire. But listen. You gotta accept, like I was telling the lady earlier, and I done told y'all ladies before, how your vagina get moist for a nigga who always at do dirty house? How that turn you on? This nigga don't do nothing but lay on the couch and fart, digging in his butt and smelling it. You know what I'm talking about? Don't do nothing. Drop you off to work every day and come back home. And you're like, that's my man. What's wrong with you? Don't nobody want that nigga. He don't want it himself. And they be like, ain't no men out here. Well, why you pick all the losers then? How you got a track record of bums on your resume, baby? I'm telling you now. Cat Williams put that in a joke, but it ain't no lie. You know what I'm saying? You might be a bum hoe if all you get is bum niggas. You might be a bum hoe. And I mean that sincerely. You can't have no track record of bum niggas. And I gotta tell you, I was telling Sylvia earlier too, man. Man, you only gonna get one good man or woman in your life, man. If you're blessed, you might get two if you had one and they died. You know what I'm saying? Because if especially a righteous man or woman, you thinking who are gonna give you another one and you ain't want the one he gave you first? Because if that woman and the man is righteous, you didn't just reject them, you rejected Yahuwah, and you think he gonna let you reject him twice? Are you stupid? See, I ain't talking about that true love, emotional love crap y'all be talking about. You only get one love. I ain't talking about that goofy behind jump, man. I'm talking about, man, if you have a good man, a good woman come in your life, man, and you like, nah, I don't want that. Or you feel like, oh, I can get something better. Oh, you're not getting another one. I promise you that. You ain't getting another one. You're not getting another one. Why would Yahuwah give you that twice if you ain't want the first one? Clearly, that's not what you want. And you deserve what you get. What we told them earlier, see, if you know what they deserve to get a nigga who got hoes and different area codes. You know what I'm saying? If you had a good dude, man, and you shunned him, that's what you deserve. A nigga who got hoes and different area codes. Straight them down. You had you a good woman, man, and you shunned that off, you deserve the most dirty foot, scally, wag, foot, dragging, maggot hole that ever existed under heaven. You know what I'm saying? I hope every time you come home, you find another man drawers in your room. Because she had another man in there. You know what I'm talking about? I hope you come home and your bank account depleted because she used it to bond that bum nigga out of jail. I ain't talking about you messed up and you picked one on the first go round. I'm talking about you had a solid woman on your side, man, and you got rid of her for a scallywag. I hope everything you touch disintegrate. You know what I'm talking about? I hope you get hemorrhoids. I hope you every night you get up to go to the bathroom, you stub your toe. Straight up. Because that's what you deserve. If you know the person who you got roll with him, man, then roll with him. Yeah, man, that's real talk, man. I mean that from the depths of my soul, man. You got you a good man, good woman at the house, man, and you do him dirty, man. I hope the next nigga you get, I hope you be stupid enough to go out there and get you somebody else, and I hope they drag you. I hope they drag you. I hope you suffer every day of your life, and you remember how good of a man or woman you had before, and now you got this rotten, no good bastard right here. I hope you wake up in the middle of the night and roll over at him and look at him and say, damn, I ruined my life. And then you have to go outside and start smoking cigarettes, nigga, but you don't even finish it. Because they keep going out and your lighter won't work and the wind ain't blowing. Come on, man.
It said, feed the flock of Elohim, which is among you, taking the oversight, not by constraint, but willingly, not for filthy lucre, but of a ready mind. Mm-hmm. Neither as being lords over heritage, but being examples to the flock. And when the chief shepherd shall appear, you shall receive the chief shepherd. Mm-hmm. Shall appear, you shall receive a crown of esteem that fade not away.
That chief shepherd.
Likewise, you that's younger.
Good. That's good. That chief shepherd, man. Because if there's a chief shepherd, guess who that means you work for? That means you work for him, don't it? Mm-hmm. Let's come to Hebrew 13. Let me see where I want to start at that, man. We got to get to the point, get what we're here for. 13 and 17.
Obey them that have rule over you, and submit yourselves, for they watch for your souls.
They do what for your what?
They watch for your souls.
And they must give a what?
Account.
They must give a what?
Account.
They must give a what?
Account.
Okay.
That they may do it with joy and not with grief, for that is unprofitable for you.
Listen,
pray for us.
Hold on. You just seen that in Acts 20, man. Well, you're going to have to give account. You're going to have to give account now. Everything you taught, everything you did, everything you let slide, everything you let ride. Well, you're going to answer for what went on in that man's house. The same way that every man going to answer for how he ruled his own house. That's why I told y'all as a man, I can't come in there and rule your house for you because I'm not going to answer for your house. You're going to answer for your house. You're going to answer for how you treat your wife. You're going to answer for how you interacted with your husband. You're going to answer for that. You know that's a part of your salvation. I hope y'all don't forget about that. A lot of dudes be talking about law, man, how you treat your wife, how you treat your husband. You can go to hell for that. See, Bruce don't want to talk about that, do it, Sid. They don't want to talk about that. They don't want to talk about it. No, when I say they don't want to talk about that, they always want to talk about what the woman, but if the woman don't do, look here, man, as a man, boy, you won't go to hell now. You can go to hell. That woman seemed to get mad earlier. I'm like, this is like what? Oh, yo, he's an Israelite, so he must. I said, what you think we believe in mistreating women or something? Just because we believe that I'm gonna rule, I'm gonna lead? Because I was ruling and leading my own life before I knew this woman. I said, you're so used to dealing with people who don't rule and lead nothing until a woman come around. If a woman is your motivation to become a better man, you ain't no man, you just a sucker. Because you should have been motivated to be a better man when you came encounter to Yahuwah. Not because you walk across somebody who could give you some vagina. That means your motivation to be a better man is not for godliness' sake, not for righteousness' sake, but for to get you some monkey. You know what you need to do. What they need to do, Civic, is that their motivation.
To go in the bathroom.
They need to go in the bathroom, cut on all the lights, look in the mirror, and slap yourself. Get a hold of yourself, son. Vagina should never be your motivation. A woman should never be your motivation because you should have been motivated before you met her. You know what I'm talking about? That ain't got nothing to do with denigrating her. I understand that you can add people into your life and they aid in your motivation, but you should have already been motivated before you met her. Now, oh, I met this woman. Now I want to be a better man. You a sucker. You mean to tell me a woman made you want to be, you didn't want to be a better man before that? What's wrong with you? You see how stupid that sounds when you say it out loud?
She was my inspiration.
Ain't no woman on earth ever been my inspiration. Yahuwah my inspiration. I was my own inspiration. Hell, my child ain't my inspiration. You just know that you got to go harder because they were your responsibility. See, when we talk about, you get it twisted when you understand that you take these people your responsibility. So as a caretaker, as an overseer, as a guardian over them, then you are to assess yourself and say, I need to be better X, Y, Z because I'm responsible for these people. What can I do to improve because I'm responsible for these people? You know what I'm saying? See, you only gonna think about that when you care about the people who you're responsible for. You know what I'm talking about? I told this lady earlier, she talking about, it sounds like you don't like you. I said, man, if I didn't like my wife, I wouldn't be married to her. I said, what the hell I look like taking care of a nigga I don't like? Coming home to a nigga I don't like. Laying next to a nigga I don't. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I got to like, I'm talking about, I ain't talking about what Denzel said. Oh yeah, 8 Man said. I ain't talking about what Denzel said in Fences. Don't worry about if I like you. Worry about if they do right by you. Oh no, I got to like her. I got to love her. I'm not going to be taking care of niggas talking about I don't like them. I damn sure ain't finna be around here ready to stab a doctor in the neck if I don't like her. Nigga, I'm willing to go to prison behind this nigga, man. No, I'm not doing that. And see, that's what people get us, if they do something, you don't like them no more. It don't matter if she do something and I don't care for it. I ain't gonna be like, I don't like her anymore. Ain't that serious? I'm not finna be walking around here mad with this nigga. I made a commitment to this woman, man. You know what I'm talking about? Straight up and down. I mean, I'm riding till I ain't got no breath in my lungs, man. Till they like this here, he cold. He ain't here no more.
You know what I'm saying? So I got to do what I got to do. And if you're shy, you going to hell. I tell you that. I ain't talking about hell as the flames. I'm talking about hell in the grave, boy. I'm going to put you in it. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, definitely a difference between inspiration and motivation, man. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely a difference. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, man, it's nothing if you like, you know what, man, my wife do X, Y, Z, man. I want to do X, Y, Z for her. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that at all, man. Please don't think that's what I'm saying. Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. What we talking about is you look at her, I'm inspired to be a better man because of this woman. You's a sucker. Because you should have been inspired to be a better man because of Yahuwah, not that woman. Reason why I say that, you take that woman away, will you lose your inspiration? You take that woman away, will you lose your motivation? Because Yahuwah ain't never going away unless you go away. You know what I'm saying? Now, I like how you just said that. I said a mighty man of valor and a virtuous woman. Because see, certain men need to be with certain type of women. See, if you a mighty man of valor, you can't be with a woman who ain't virtuous. It's not gonna work. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna work. Remember, and a virtuous woman, that's Kayil. That's a woman of strong faith. You know what I'm saying? See, you can't be a mighty man of valor with a woman with little faith. You know what I'm saying? You got to have a woman with strong faith. That's the only way that's going to work. She's the only one who's going to be equitably compatible with you. It's the same way like this here. If you a high producing man, you notice that a lot of dudes who really, really get money, they wives really like high producers also. They have you know what I'm saying? That's you can't be with no woman who ain't about nothing. That's not going to work. It's not going to work. It's not. It's absolutely not going to work. That's why people be having problems, man. Because you don't think like that. You know what I'm saying? Now, y'all young, so of course you wouldn't think like that. Most of y'all wouldn't even think about no words. But it's like I said, man, we talking to people who may be a little older, mature, and they not married yet. You know what I'm saying? You got to make, because see, you also have to be honest with yourself to know, hey, I ain't a mighty man of valor. Because a lot of brothers, everybody swear he a mighty man of valor. Everybody not a mighty man of valor. Some people need to stay back with the stuff. You know what I'm talking about? But yeah, man, that's good, man. Let's get to this Psalms 82 and 1. Go back to Galatians 4. What I really want to talk about. That was just at the forefront of my mind. I apologize for spending an hour on that, but it needed to be said. Because the people pissed me off, but also just on the aspect of, shalom, Brother Robert, man, the aspect of ruling your house as a man and how that correlates to if you're going to be over the house of God, you have to know how to do that before you can be over that. You have to. You know what I'm saying? Because you're supposed to be caring for these people's souls. Come on with it, man. Let's go back to Galatians 4 and 1. And I guess it's relevant because it's that tutors and governors, and I didn't go into that in great detail on Wednesday.
Say, now I say, the heir, as long as he is a child, defer nothing from a servant, though he be Lord of all.
Hold on, pause for a second. Crystal say, can you say that a woman, a man, children motivated push you to be a better person? I wouldn't want my children to be my motivation to be a better person. Because when I say that, meaning that if you were already in the word. See, on the natural side of things, I could understand somebody who's natural saying that, you know what, my wife or my kids are a motivating factor for me to do X, Y, Z. I understand that completely. You know what I'm saying? Now, I myself, I wouldn't move by that on the natural side of things, but I understand that. I'm more so speaking for us who are in Yahuwah, who profess to be a Yahuwah. Yahuwah should be your number one motivation to be a better. Because before you had them children, you already had to be knowing Yahuwah. Before you got that husband or wife, you should have already been knowing Yahuwah, and that should have been your motivating factor for being a better person. If you were already serving Yahuwah, and it took having a child for you to want to improve, that just says that you were just going through the motions before that child. But if that child light a fire up, now don't get me wrong, right? I don't care what light the fire. You know what I'm talking about? If it light the fire, I'm gonna help keep it lit. You know what I'm saying? But ideally, Yahuwah should be the one to light that fire. But I understand. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving the ideal way that this should be executed. But do I understand that sometimes we go through the motions and then you see that baby and you be like, now you can see your son and be like, I gotta go harder. I get that. You know what I'm saying? Or you know, hey man, I got this wife, I got these kids, I gotta go hard. Because this is how men think. You know what I'm saying? Because again, it go back to the point I made, they my responsibility. You know what I'm saying? They're my responsibility. I love these people. I care for these people. So you have to remember that if you say, I want to be over a body, an assembly, You got to love these people. You got to care for them. Why you think I always tell y'all, it don't matter if you know them people or not. You still supposed to have love and care for them. You only got love and care for the people you fellowship with. You a goofy. You a goofy. Something wrong with you. That person is a believer just like you a believer. And I'm telling y'all this from personal experience because Dwight can tell you, Muffin can tell you, we had an experience where people looked at us like, oh, they don't serve God because they ain't here with us. Now, I wasn't on that beforehand, but experiencing that, I utterly refuse to even condone, permit, or allow any of y'all to behave like way towards anybody in the faith. Absolutely not. I'll rebuke you on the spot. We're not doing that. You know what I'm saying? We're not doing that. That's not a book, and that's not of God. We're not doing that. I promise you that. We're not doing that. She said, I agree. Men and women need to be careful putting their significant others on a pedestal. It's like a form of idolatry, and it's scary. Because indeed. No, we're not doing that. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that. Oh, is they really, or because you feel like they do things different than you do, or they don't understand what you don't. That's an elitist attitude, and y'all know how I feel about that. That's not. We not on that. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. How you gonna be having an elitist attitude and you was a sinner just like them? None of us can have an elitist attitude when we all know we ought to die and go to hell. Because we all know what we were doing before the call came. So there's no way that you can walk around here with an elitist attitude when you all know that you were men and women worthy of death. There's no way that we can walk around here like that. It's not of God. It's not what it is. And I'm not co-signing that. Go ahead, bro. Galatians 4:1.
Now I say the heir, as long as he is a child, defer nothing from a servant, though he be Lord of all, but is under tutors and governors until the time appointed of the Father.
That's right.
Even so, we when we were children, were in bondage under the elements of the world. When we were children.
When we were what?
Children.
Under the elements of the what?
Of the world.
See, that's when you're dealing with philosophical. That's what that elements is. That's the same word that was in that Colossians when it told you not to get caught up with the rudiments of the world. Go ahead.
But when the fullness of the time was come, Elohim sent forth his son, made of a woman.
Made of a who?
Made of a woman.
Made of a who?
Made of a woman.
Born what?
Made under the law.
Made under the what?
Under the law.
Talk to him.
To redeem them that were under the law, that we might receive the adoption of sons.
Okay, pause. Now we were talking about that. What is it to be made under the law? We looked at that Psalms 51 and a few other places. But now we want to go to Psalms 82 because what is being made under the law? You made under death. Genesis 3:17, dust you are and dust you will return. Because if you conceived in a mother's womb, the punishment of sin is resting on you. That's what Romans 5 told us. We talked about it Wednesday. Let's go over to here, man. Hit the Psalms 82:1. Because these boys were talking about that. I was like, dang, I forgot to use that. So they wasn't talking about what we're talking about right now, but nevertheless, they was arguing something else of no consequence.
Elohim stand in the congregation of the mighty.
He stand where?
In the congregation of the mighty.
What he said to him?
He judge among the gods.
He judge among the who?
Among the gods.
Listen.
How long will you judge unjustly?
How long will you judge the who?
Unjustly.
On what?
And accept the persons of the wicked.
Pause. See, come over here to 1 Corinthians 5:9 real fast, man. It's an element in that 1 Corinthians 5:9 that I want y'all to see. Because he said he judging among the congregation of the mighty, right? Mm-hmm. But they asking why he don't judge the unjust. Ain't that what he just asked? Now listen to this 1 Corinthians 5:9. Listen to it.
I wrote unto you in an epistle not to company with fornicators.
Listen.
Yet not altogether with the fornicators of this world.
Not altogether with the who?
Fornicators of this world.
Listen.
Or with the covetous or extortioners or with idolaters, for then must you needs go out of the world.
Because see, he said if that was to happen, you wouldn't even be alive, because that's all that's out there. Listen.
But now I have written unto you not to keep company, if any man that is called a brother be a fornicator or a covetous or an idolater or a railer or a drunkard or an extortioner, with such a one, no, not to eat.
He said, don't eat with them. Come on. That ain't what we want.
For what have I to do to judge them also that are without?
Pause. He said, you heard what he said? What do I have to do to judge them that's outside the house? How many times I done told y'all be so worried about sinners outside the house, but you ain't paying attention to those who inside the house. Why are you shocked that people outside the house of God are doing what people outside the house of God do? What you think they gonna do? Listen.
Do not you judge them that are within?
He said, don't you judge them that are within? But he said, guess who say gonna judge those that are without?
But them that are without, Elohim judge.
That's what they were asking him to do. Because who did he say he was judging in Psalms 82? Who said he was judging the mighty? Who said he was doing it in Psalms 82? Go back and read it. Let's see what Psalms 82:1. Let's see who was judging amongst the mighty. Let's see who would do. Let's see if that line up with Paul just said right here, man.
Say Elohim stand in the congregation of the mighty. He judge among the gods.
It say God judge among the gods. He judging amongst the mighty. He judging the saints. What the saints asked.
How long will you judge unjustly and accept the persons of the wicked?
Tell them what accept mean right there, man. Because they asking when he gonna judge them without the house. You judging us, when you gonna judge them? Listen.
Nasah, to lift, to bear up, to carry, to take.
He said, when you gonna carry and take their person? Now, Paul, give me what? 1 Peter chapter 4. Give me verse 15, man. Tell me what 1 Peter 4 and 15 said. I might have got you in the wrong spot. Let me look and see, man. Let me see what 1 Peter 4 and 15 said. Let me see if that's good enough for you, man. Oh, yeah, that's beautiful. You can give me 14. That's beautiful. 1 Peter 4 and 14, that's beautiful. That'll work beautiful.
Say if you be
matter of fact, make it 12, because that's how I feel. 1 Peter 4 and 12, man. Listen to this.
Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial, which is to try you as though some strange thing happened unto you.
He said, don't think it's some strange thing happening because this man is trying you by fire so that you could come out pure on the other side. Didn't he say you got to go through the furnace of affliction? He said, don't think that's strange, baby. Come on.
But rejoice in as much as you are partakers of Mashiach's suffering.
He said you ought to rejoice that you able to partake in his sufferings. Listen.
That when his esteem shall be revealed, you may be glad also with exceeding joy.
Listen.
If you be reproached for the name of
If you be
Mashiach,
dishonored for the name of Mashiach, blessed are you.
Happy, for the ruach of esteem and of Elohim rest upon you.
See, a lot of brothers don't want to. Y'all, a lot of y'all boys be losing your blessing because you get dishonored for his name because you living right and you standing for what's right and you want to fight, kick, and scream. Didn't he tell you that if you get reproached for his name, if men cast your name as evil, if men separate you from your company, from their company, that you're supposed to rejoice because your name written in heaven? So that means if you trying to fight back, guess what that means? Your name ain't finna be written in heaven no more. Let them people do what we just read the other day. Didn't he say, I didn't speak because you didn't? You got to pay attention how the man behaved. When they did that to the Lord ain't say a word. You got it, baby. You got it. Because I know my name written in heaven. I ain't got to fuss and fight. Every time you dishonor and reproach me, that brings esteem to my Father. So reproach, whole nigga. Run your mouth, sucker. You got to have that same attitude. You know what I'm saying? See, that same attitude comes from the actual application of faith, having trust in the recompense of the reward, understanding that these are the things that the Son of God suffered, and you taking on his mind and his spirit to be able to esteem him and his Father in heaven. And not fight to show how tough you is as a man. Nigga ain't gonna try me. I'm a man. Oh, you are goofy what you is. Super tough guy. There's too many niggas in the world trying to be super tough. At the end of the day, man, don't nobody know you, my nigga. You ain't got no resume for shooting nobody, fighting nobody. Ain't nobody hanging with you, banging with you, slang with you, do any type of gangster things with you. You ain't got no resume for that. But everybody tough, though. Just like everybody swear every nigga in the street is a warrior. Every nigga in the street ain't a warrior. Some of them niggas hoes, man. Some of them niggas scary, man. And they only gonna shoot you out of fear. Them the worst men to be around. Those who tote pistols and gonna shoot out of fear because they gonna kill somebody because they scared. Then you got men who don't bother nobody and they gonna take you out of here simply because they don't bother nobody. Then you got men who are gangsters that they take people out and it's strictly business. You know what I'm talking about? Then you got men who are just highly emotional, who take people out strictly because they cannot control and regulate their emotions. And then you have the worst of the worst. And there are men out here on these streets that are just outright and utter pure evil. You know what I'm talking about? Pure evil. I'm talking about pure, unadulterated evil. Some of y'all ain't never seen pure evil before. You only seen pure evil on a TV screen or in a movie. But some of y'all ain't never been around pure evil in real life. And that's a different type of deal, man. That's a different type of deal to be around a man who's pure evil. It's a different type of deal to be around a man who's a killer. And I say when a man who's a killer, he may not necessarily be evil. Like I say, he killed for business. You violate certain ethics and principles, and that man gonna take your life. And he not gonna feel no way about it because his principles say that you ought to die. A lot of people, you ain't never experienced that, man. All you've been doing is bopping your head to the beat of a nigga on record lying about that. Unfortunately for me, I done did time with too many killers. You know what I'm talking about? Like straight up and down. Too many of them. I told you, boy, that bus ride I went to prison, man. Well, one of them boys had 75 years, another nigga had 50, another nigga had life. They was all going up there for bodies. And the scenarios for them bodies was different. Because the one with the 50, the judge told him, I'm going to take it light on you. And gave him 50 years. But what it was, he got in an altercation with his stepdaddy. And he stabbed him. After he immobilized him, he kept stabbing him. And he killed the man. And that's why he went to prison. Was he a killer? No. He was a man who, in a particular situation, let his emotions get the best of him and went further than what he needed to go. The dude who had 75 years, he killed the man and put him in the trunk of his car, drove him around for a while, and then buried him somewhere. That nigga's a killer. Do you know the level of depravity in your mind you got to have to ride around with a dead body in your trunk? As if you just as if you had groceries back there. The one who had a life sentence, that man died because niggas were trying to rob him and kill him, man. He was trying to shoot his way up out of there, and he shot an innocent bystander in the house, man. All he was trying to do was defend himself. He ain't had no problem taking nobody out, but who he took out wasn't even who he was shooting at. He just was trying to defend himself. The dude who died just happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time and lost his life. Because this man was just trying to defend himself. He wasn't trying to be super hard or none of that. Then I was in there with a dude who killed his granddaddy and cut his head off. And then took it to the bank to try to use it as a form of ID to take money out of the bank. I'm not even exaggerating about this. This is a true story. This is a true story. Do you know how homicidally deranged you got to be to cut a man's head off and then ride around in public and use it as a form of identification? Then I was in there with another dude. He robbed a doggone hotel on Horse Road and killed the lady. You know what I'm saying? Like this here, he wasn't no killer. He just was a junkie. Got excited, got scared, took a life. Now he got to live with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just naming a few. I could go all day. There ain't no need to talk about that. I'm just trying to get you to understand the mindset of everybody. Everybody who takes somebody's life don't be what you think they is. You know what I'm saying? And if you know about wars, you know a lot of them boys who go to war and go overseas and all the killing they had to do, them boys ain't the same when they come back. Because too many people talk about taking a life and they ain't ever seen it or done it, and they don't really know what effect that can have on the mind depending on what type of man you are. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of dudes don't know what it's like to look upon a body and watch it take its last breath, and you know you was responsible for that. Yeah, man. I used to tell young dudes all the time, talking about they gonna kill somebody. Man, hush your mouth, man. You don't know what that's like, man, to take somebody's life, boy. People talk about that like that's just like stepping on a roach, boy. That's a human life, boy. And get this Genesis 9:5 so they can understand how serious that is, man. Man, that ain't no game.
Saying, surely your blood or your lives will I require, at the hand of every beast will I require it, and at the hand of every man, at the hand of every man's brother will I require the life of man. Whoso shed man's blood,
shed man's blood,
by man shall his blood be shed.
That man said, if you want to shed man's blood, the Lord gonna shed yours.
For the image of Elohim made he man.
Read it again.
Say, whosoever shed man's blood, by man's blood shall his blood be shed. By man shall his blood be shed. For in the image of Elohim made he man.
That's her. Indeed, Hashem, man. And you know what's the crazy part too? That white boy got 5 years for that. And my mans who, because they was in there at the same time, and my mans who was trying to got in the shootout, trying not to get robbed, they gave him life. He was 19 years old, man. And they gave him life. And they gave this white boy 5 years, man. Straight up, gave him 5 years. Dude, I'm talking about, who I was in there with that 75, that boy's still in there. You know what I'm talking about? Because ain't no parole down here. And that boy, and we went to prison in 2005. That boy been in there for 19 years, boy, and that boy still got about another 50 some odd years to go. That's with no game time, that boy got at least 56 max. You understand? Straight up. My man, that man got elbow. He ain't never coming home. He ain't never coming home. He ain't never coming home. I say that because, man, death is for real, man. You're not coming back from that. We did talk about that in Ecclesiastes 8, right? You're not coming back from that till the heavens open. When you come back from that, now you got to stand before the Lord. So you need to take your life seriously, man. Because the discharge in the battle of death, the Lord already won it. We already talked about that Wednesday. He already won that. Oh, wretched man that I am, who shall deliver me from the body of the death? The Lord has delivered you from the trouble of this death. This body that got to die, the toil, the trouble, the lust, all these things that you got going on, that man done rescued you from that. You gonna neglect such a greater salvation as this to dibble and dabble in foolishness? For temporary pleasure? That's insane. That's insane. You know what I'm saying? It's insane because you don't really appreciate the free gift of life that he actually offered you. You don't respect it, or you don't appreciate it, or you feel you entitled to it. Because I don't know what none of y'all were doing. And ain't none of y'all committed a sin under heaven that ain't nobody else who ever lived ever committed. But we all know one thing, that the wages of sin is death, and in Adam all die. And by the grace of the living Elohim, amen, Brother Morgan, by the grace of the living Elohim, this man has came through and extended the free gift of everlasting life and say, here you go, you ain't even do nothing to earn it. And you gonna turn that down for some coochie? For some wee-wee? For a good time? For anger? For wrath, for malice, for real, man? Come on, man. Amen, Hashem, on both of those things, man. You ain't lying, man. Like you gotta consider that, bro. Amen, Tavon, man. You gotta consider that, man. You gotta consider that. That's all. I can't do nothing to mention, man. All you gotta do is consider. Because at the end of the day, I done told y'all this so many times. We only know each other because of Yahuwah. So that means every one of us, whether on this YouTube stream, in this house, on this clubhouse, we are joined together because of the body of the Son of the living Elohim. So that means by his grace and mercy, it ain't nothing that any of us done did. He said, I want these people to be able to come together wherever they may be for the purpose of being one in me, so that my Father might be esteemed and that their soul might be saved, man. Like, you know, some of these clubhouse rooms, we move around, you know, you can hear people argue, you know what I'm saying? You know, nigga don't really participate in all that there, because when it come down to the come down and talk about that real deal Holyfield, don't nobody want to talk about that, because at the end of the day, it don't lead to the arguing and the contention and the strife that everybody be looking for. Because ain't nobody concerned with giving information to each other that can aid somebody along. Because there's people out here dealing with real stuff on this stream, on this phone, and in this house. Everybody dealing with real stuff, man. I don't give a damn about your hypostatic union. I don't give a damn about your Trinitarian doctrine, my nigga. I don't care about your feelings, man. The people out here dealing with real stuff, man, they in a battle with themselves. And Satan steady calling, because he know they getting overcome by their lust, man. He tempting them on every corner. They don't know how to deal with it, man. That's why we here right now. So we can see in the word, man, how we can deal with it, man. So we can make sure that faith stay activated and that we overcome. Because he that overcome the world believe that Yahushua, the Son of God, this is the victory, even our faith. Ain't that what the apostle said? You know what I'm talking about? That man told us to be a good cheer because he's overcome the world. Ain't that what the Lord said? So when we see these things, when we go through these things, man, we going through the text to look at these things for the purpose of strengthening our faith so we can be perfected on the other side, not just for look at what we know. That's weirdo stuff. No doubt, Hashem. That's weirdo stuff, bro. It's not what we're here for. You know what I'm saying? The only reason why, get John 6 and 44, man. Listen what the Lord said. We come back to Psalms 82. Matter of fact, I'll read Psalms 82. You wasn't holding nothing up, well.
Was it verse Peter 4 and 14?
Oh, yeah, we need to go back. Bro, you be writing in and soliloquies, man. I don't be knowing what you be talking about, bro. Come on with it, sir.
Say, no man can come to me except the Abba which have sent me, draw him.
Listen, no man can do what?
come to me except the Abba which have sent me.
So that
draw
means
him.
each and every one of us here right now, we here because Abba in heaven drawed us to his son. Ain't nothing we did.
And I will raise him up at the last day.
Read that again, man. I just want y'all to let that rest in your brain, man. And I'm going to read Psalm. I want you to read Psalm. Well, I'm already by Psalm 65, so I can read it. Read it again, bro.
Say, no man can come to me except the Abba which have sent me. Draw him, and I will raise him up at the last day.
Listen to this Psalm 65 and 4. Baruch, you choose and cause to approach, that he may dwell in your courts, and we shall be satisfied with the goodness of your house, of your Kadash temple. And I'll read it just with the words that are not there, that are in italics, I should say. Blessed is the man whom you choose and cause to approach unto you, that he may dwell in your courts. Man, do you not understand, man? Read that John 6 and 44 again, man. Let it rest in your mind along with that Psalm 65. Listen to it, man.
No man can come to me except the Abba which have sent me. Draw him.
That means if you being drawn to the Son of God, man, that means this man have a desire for you to dwell in his house. You know what I'm talking about? That was Psalm 65 said that. That means he got a desire for you to dwell in his house. This ain't got nothing to do with nothing that any of us have done. This ain't because I'm so great of a dude. No, I'm saying absolutely not. And when I say that, meaning I ain't talking about for no preaching. I'm talking about me as an individual. You know what I'm talking about? So that means you're not that great of a person. He's not that great of a person. She's not that great of a person. It's Elohim is that great of an Elohim to have mercy. You understand? So if you know that he doesn't have this level of mercy to cause you to draw near so you could dwell in his house, you mean to tell me you're not going to forsake everything that you have so you could dwell there? So you mean to tell me you'll keep everything you got so you don't have to live in the house of God? So you telling me that you a special type of stupid. You know what I'm saying? An extraordinary type of stupid. A type of stupid that cannot even be capsulated with words. Come on back to 1 Peter 4, man. You was in verse 14. Come on with it.
Say, if you be reproached for the name of Mashiach, happy are you, for the ruach of esteem and of Elohim rest upon you.
Amen.
On their part he is evil spoken of, but on your part he is esteemed.
Indeed.
But let none of you suffer as a murderer.
He said, don't be out here suffering as no murderer or what else?
Or a thief.
Or as a thief or what else?
Or an evildoer.
Or what else?
Or as a busybody in other men's matters.
That man said you should not be suffering because you around here not minding your goddamn business. You know what I'm talking about? Listen to things that he mentioned. Not as a thief, a murderer. What else he said?
An evildoer.
An evildoer mean you just doing wrong, and then he slid in there a busybody. Learn how to mind your business, man. Learn how to mind your business, man. That go back to what I was talking about earlier. That I don't care what y'all got going on, meaning I'm not finna be a busybody. And just because I'm a preacher don't mean I'm supposed to be no. Because that was somebody said when they were talking about with that church, with that letter that go around the church that put that lady out and gave her tithes back. They too concerned with people's personal matter. No, they were concerned about her conduct didn't align with the standard that church held. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody finna be walking around here being no bit. I'm the preacher, so I'll get a pass to be a busybody. You lying to me? I don't want to know what you got going on that bad. I promise I don't. I promise I don't. I promise I don't. I really don't. I'm telling you this here because one day I'm going to be dead and one of y'all got to do this here, man. I'm trying to make sure that you understand that. You don't need to be no busybody in these man. I've been telling you that for a long time. One day I'm going to be dead. You think this don't going to stop because I'm dead? No. So you got to be primed, prepped, and prepared and ready to go. And you got to understand that. It is not your job as a preacher to be walking around here all in people's personal matters. That's not your job. No matter what these dudes try to tell you, that's not your job. Your job is to rule the house of God and to warn the people and to hold them accountable and to correct them accordingly, not to be all in their personal business. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't finna be sitting around here like this here. Oh yeah, you know what brother such and such wife doing? Shoot, nigga, I don't know, and I don't care. I got my own wife. What I'm worrying about his wife for? What I'm worried about what he doing for? What they got to do with me? He telling you that because he said not that you suffer as a busybody, shalom, Sister Kelly, and other men's matters. Because that's how you get yourself caught up in nonsense when you don't know how to mind your business. You know what I'm talking about? Because when you be a busybody in other people's affairs, you like to discuss and talk other people's affairs. And that's how fights and
strife and contention and all that stuff start going down because you don't know how to mind your business. He said they tried to stress Moses like that, and he had the point. Yeah, now see, that was a little different. What Moses was saying in that one there, and I'm glad you mentioned that too, is he was saying that if the people had contention, you know what I'm saying, and he was judging all these people matters. You know what I'm saying? So this is different. These people actually come to him saying, "Hey, I got a problem with such and such." You know what I'm saying? Judge this for me. You know what I mean? So that's different. He said, "Yeah, man, set men over that. And if it's too difficult, bring it to me." You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of like what is misinterpreted as a deacon or a minister. That's what he for. You know what I'm saying? Or even to the token that, like I told you before, if it was an issue, you bring it the whole body. You let those who may not have such a high position in the body, let them judge it. Because it's not that the pastor just got to judge it. You know what I'm saying? You can judge it. You know what I'm talking about? But if it's a too difficult of a matter to judge, you bring it to me. You know what I'm talking about? That's how that works. Because, man, look here, man. Man, you can't take that burden of... See, our congregation ain't that big, so it's different. Man, if you got a lot of people, man, you can't take that burden on yourself, man. You gonna commit suicide, man. That's just going to drive you crazy. I'm talking about stress. That's why he said so they can do it without grief, because that's not profitable to you. Man, look here, man. That's right, Brother Nate. Listen, man, I'm trying to tell you. That junk stress you out, boy. That junk will stress you. But that's because the people were really like, hey, kind of like, for an example, with the lady that came to Solomon when the two ladies with the baby. You know what I'm saying? That's a matter. He got to judge that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't, when we talk about that, a lot of people in the word, they not doing that. You don't have contention with a person and then you bringing it to the judge for them to judge that. You talking to other people around, and this is how nonsense gets stuff and stuff get misinterpreted and miscommunicated and all that stuff, because you just not saying, we just gonna go to the judge. I got an art. This is what it is. This is what it is. And then you judge it. But see, most people will think people are gonna judge, oh, well, that's his friend, so I ain't gonna bring it to him. Look here, man. 2 Chronicles 19:5. Read it to him. Look here, man. If you got some sense, I'll give you a real situation, man. I'm a nigga, young lady came told me some years ago, man, and I'm like this here. I said, that sounds like you going to hell and him too. Oh, you only saying that because of such. I say, baby, I said, if I was going to give you counsel and judgment according to my own thoughts, then I ought to go to hell. You know what I'm talking about? You can't do that. But you know why people think that? Because most people don't believe that some people can separate the two. Because most people can't. You won't separate it. That's your mama. That's your wife. That's your homeboy. You won't do it because you want to be biased towards them. I promise to you, boys, doo-doo stinking, the sky is blue. I don't give a damn. You know what I'm talking about? Who it is. I don't. You know what I'm saying? Who's right and who's wrong? I'm with what's right. I don't care who it is. It doesn't matter. 2 Chronicles 19:5.
And he set judges in the land throughout all the fenced cities of Yehuda, city by city, and said to the judges, take heed what you do.
Take heed what you do, baby.
For you judge not for man.
But you don't judge for who?
For man.
You don't judge for who?
For man.
You don't judge for who?
For man.
Who you judge for?
But for Yahuwah.
Who you judge for?
For Yahuwah.
Okay.
Who is with you in the judgment.
He with you in the what?
In the judgment.
Okay.
Wherefore now let the fear of Yahuwah be upon you. Take heed and do no iniquity with Yahuwah or Elohim, nor respect of persons, nor taking
the gifts. Ain't no perversity with Yahuwah. Ain't no respect of persons with Yahuwah. And you can't give me no gift to judge how you want me to judge. See, that's what Samuel's sons were doing. They were taking filthy lucre to give false judgment. Nah, you won't. That's why he said you can't be greedy for filthy lucre. Look at what he said. You don't judge for man, you judge for Yahuwah. So it doesn't matter. Because guess what? If you judging for man and not Yahuwah, guess what's going to happen to you, Mr. Judge? You going to hell. Because you violated the law. He said had no respect to persons. See, some people think respect to persons is you like this person more than you. No, respect to persons is judging according to the accepting of another person. Because you friends with them. Because they got money. Because they got honor in the community. No. We judging right is right and wrong is wrong. Just wait, just balance. That's what the book saying. That's what we got to do. That's how it's got to be. It can't be no other way. Can't be no other way. That's why I tell y'all, boy, you can't jump up in something and say, that's my wife, and you running behind it. You're going to go to hell. You're going to go to hell. That's not how you do this. That's what they do in the world. That's not what saints do. Doesn't matter if it's your wife. Don't matter if it's your son. He said, don't judge according to appearance, judge righteous judgment. That means you need to get applicable information before you go to executing judgment and putting yourself out there. Because what if your wife wrong? What if your children wrong? Now you done made yourself look like a plumb dumb fool because you went against the word, because you went off your emotions and your emotional attachments and connections to these people, instead of making sure that you judge according to the word of Yahuwah and move like a saint supposed to move to show yourself a man. He said, in malice be children, but in men be understanding. I don't care if that's your old lady. I don't care if that's your children. I don't care if that's your close friend. I don't care if that's your brother. That's not what this man's words say to do. I don't care. And if you as a woman think my husband, absolutely not. I don't care if you came and told me, son, I'm not jumping off the porch off that. Ain't that what he said in John 7:24? Don't judge according to what? Appearance. He said judge righteous judgment. That don't exclude your family. That don't mean you judge righteous judgment for people outside your house, but you judge how you want for those inside your house. That's all the way across the board, baby. That respect a person. If your wife wrong, would you condemn her? When I say condemn her, I ain't talking about going to hell, meaning that you convict that she wrong. Would you do it if you had to judge? Because your law say it wouldn't matter who it was in your family. If you caught them with an idol, you're supposed to be the first one to put a rock upside their head. So we ain't talking about stoning nobody, but would you hold her accountable? Or would you say, not my son, not my wife? And then you look up and you lift up your eyes in hell because you ain't have a just weight and a just balance. Now you done committed an abomination. Just that quick. You know what I'm talking about? When that man told you the gate is narrow, the straight is the gate and narrow is the way, that's what he meant now. Because a lot of people going to go down for stuff that you think you ain't going to go down for. Yeah, you can't do that. Especially if you're talking about being a ruler over a house. You have to set that stuff to the side. That don't mean you don't love them. But right is right and what? Wrong is wrong. And you got to be on the side of right, no matter who it is. You know what I'm talking about? If your family on the side of wrong, you got to be willing to say you wrong. You have to be willing. Come on, man. Brother Marvin, but Matthew 10:36. Run that for me. And then we go back to 1 Peter 4, and I get back to Psalms 82. Maybe I'll get to the point I wanted in Psalms 82. Stanky booty.
It said, a man's foes, they have his own household. He that loves father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. Mm-hmm. And he that loves son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. Mm-hmm. And he that take not his stake and follow after me is not worthy of me. Mm-hmm. He that find his life shall lose it. And he that lose his life for my sake shall find it.
That's tough, man. That's tough now. Let's come back to 1 Peter 4. That's tough now. See, a lot of people hear that and they won't roll with it because they feel like the emotion is removed. But when you're dealing with judgment, emotion has to be removed. When you're dealing with mishpat, it can't be no emotion. Because remember, what did we just read? You're not judging for Adam, you're judging for Yahuwah. That's why a lot of people are not fit to be in positions of authority in the body of Mashiach, because they don't understand that particular point of view. They don't. Come on with it, man.
Verse 16. So yet if any, as a Christian, let him not be ashamed, but let him esteem Elohim on this behalf. Mm-hmm. For the time that judgment must begin at the house of Elohim.
Judgment must begin where?
At the house of Elohim.
Where?
At the house of Elohim.
See how that go back to what we were looking at in Psalms 82? Going back to what Paul said in Corinthians. Judgment start at the house. We're not judging people without. God gonna do that. Come on.
And if first at us, what shall the end of them that obey not the gospel of Elohim?
He said, if the judgment start with us, what's going to be the end for the sinners?
And if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear? Wherefore let them that suffer according to the will of Elohim.
He said, if you suffer according to the will of Elohim, do what?
Commit the keeping of their souls and well-doing as unto a faithful creator.
Did you see how he said that commit? Remember we talked about that Wednesday when he said, commit my soul? See, I didn't even read that Luke 23. Come back to Psalm 31. Read that right there again, that last verse right there, man. I ain't even read that, Luke. I don't believe.
Say, wherefore let them that suffer according to the will of Elohim commit the keeping of their souls and well-doing as unto a faithful creator.
And what we read in Psalm 31:5, he said, in your hand I commit my what? My ruach, right? You have redeemed me, O Yahuwah Elohim, the truth. And of course, the Lord came right back over here in Luke 23. Right over here in Luke 23, and said this right here. As this man was on this tree, suffocating to death, the last words that he uttered out of his mouth is Luke 23 and 33, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to get there eventually. I'm in John. This is Luke 23 and 44. My bad, y'all. They're definitely not 33. And he said it was about the 6th hour, and there was darkness over all the earth until the 9th hour, and the sun was darkened, and the veil of the temple was rent in the midst. And when Yahushua cried with a loud voice, he said, Abba, into your hands I commend my ruach. And having said thus, he gave up the breath. Gave up his ruach, man. See, you have to be able to understand that you got to be able to have your soul committed to this man unto the death. See, it was a brother in the room, man, before we came on here, and I kind of understood the point that he was trying to mention. Get the Hebrew 4, man. You can pick it up at verse 12 just because I want to hear verse 12. And he was like, you know, I just wait. Go ahead.
Say, for the word of Elohim, quick and powerful, sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and ruach, of the joints and marrow, and a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart.
Listen to it.
Neither is there any creature that is not manifest in his sight, but all things naked and open unto the eyes of him with whom we have to do.
Mm-hmm.
Saying then that we have a great high priest that is passed in the Shamaim, Yahushua the son of Elohim, let us hold fast profession. For we have not a high priest which cannot be touched with the feeling of our infirmity.
But he was what?
In all points tempted like as without sin. Let us therefore come boldly unto the throne of mercy
that we might find what?
Obtain mercy and find mercy to help in the time of need.
See, this is what the brother was talking about. He said he was tempted in all points. So what it is? Luke 22? Read this Luke 22. Let me see what verse I want to Luke 22. I don't want you bouncing around the stratosphere, looking for this and looking for that. Luke 22 and 28. That's all I want. Luke 22 and 28.
You are they which have continued with me in my temptation.
He said, you are they that continue with me in my what?
In my temptation.
Tell her what temptations is here in the Greek, man. Now, of course, y'all know that James, the apostle James, say, blessed is he that enter into temptation, for when he's tried, he shall receive a crown of life.
That's parasmos, an experiment, an attempt, a trial, approving.
Approving, a trial. Give me Jeremiah 17 and 7. Listen to it.
Baruch the man that trusts in Yahuwah, and whose hope Yahuwah is, for he shall be as a tree planted by the waters, and spread out her roots by the river, and shall not see when heat come, but the leaf shall be green, and shall not be careful in the year of drought, neither shall cease from yielding fruit.
Listen.
The heart deceitful above all, and desperately wicked, who can know it?
Listen.
I, Yahuwah, search the heart, try the reins.
He tempts you.
Even to give every man according to his ways, according to the fruit of his doing.
It's not Elohim that's tempting you, it's your desires that's tempting you. So the brother was saying, could there have been a period since he was tempted that he had a period of doubt or unbelief? I'm like, no, but I understand why he was saying that, because he's saying the man with flesh and blood. But remember what he said in Matthew 26 and 41. Watching what? Praise. Lest you fall into what? Temptation. Because the ruach is what? Wisdom. But the flesh is what? So when you seen that flesh was weak, what you seen the Lord do? He went and prayed. See, that's how you know that he didn't fall into that doubt or unbelief in the midst of that proving or temptation. You know what I'm saying? But them boys were going back and forth that I ain't really get a chance to really get that point out so he could understand what that was. Because when you look at what happened when Satan came to tempt him, and what was he at that particular point? He was physically weak because he had not eaten and drank, and he leaned on the word in that particular point to not get caught up in the lust of the desire to fulfill the word ahead of time or tempt his father based on the things that Satan was coming at him with. You know what I'm talking about? So it's the aspect of understanding that when you find yourself weak, when the man tell you to watch and pray, he's letting you know, observe, and in the observation, Pray, because your ruach, indeed, the inward man, like Paul was saying, I delight after the law of Elohim in the inward man, but I find in my members the law of sin and death, because the flesh is weak. The flesh desires to do what it want to do. So you have to observe, and in that observation, you have to make sure that you pray so that you don't fall into the temptation that can come with doubt, unbelief, and the lust of the flesh, and you can overcome it. Because if you're praying, that means the mind that your mind is stayed on Yahuwah, and He'll keep him in perfect peace whose mind is stayed on you, because he trusting Yahuwah forever. For trusting Yahuwah is everlasting strength. You understand? So that means if you thinking upon him, then that means you could be able to think upon his word. And if you're thinking upon his word, then you're thinking upon his promises. And see, that's just what the law cannot do. The law can't give you this manner of strength. It can't do it. Thou shalt not eat pork chops ain't gonna give you that strength. You should keep the Sabbath day ain't gonna give you that strength. Knowing you were Israelite is not gonna give you that strength in the day of temptation. Give me Psalm 95. You can pick it up at verse 1.
Oh, come, let us sing unto Yahuwah. Let us make a joyful noise to the rock of our salvation. Let us come before his presence with thanksgiving and make a joyful noise unto him with psalms. For Yahuwah, a great Elohim and a great king above all gods. In his hand, the deep places of the earth, the strength of the hills, his also. The sea is his, and he made it. And his hands formed the dry. Oh, come, let us worship and bow down. Let us kneel.
Let
us kneel before Yahuwah,
That's
our
right.
Maker.
That's right.
For he is our Elohim, and we the people of his pasture and the sheep of his hand.
Come on.
Today, if you will hear his voice, harden not your heart as in the provocation.
Today, if you will hear his voice, harden not your hearts as in the what?
Provocation.
Tell them what provocation is in the Abarim, man. Tell them what it is, man.
Meribah, that's strife, contention, quarrel.
Come on. Remember, they had a quarrel. Not that Yahuwah had a quarrel with them, but they had a quarrel with Yahuwah. And remember, he said, I brought you out here to prove you whether you would keep my instructions or not. He tried them. He tested them to see what was in their heart. See, y'all don't even be realizing the stuff that you go through is to see what's in your heart. Then we just don't think these fiery trials to be strange that you go through these things, man. You're going through these things for your perfection's sake, which remind me of something I want to hit out of the epistle. Let it pray. God, I almost forgot. I forgot Wednesday, but by the grace of the Lord, I ain't forget tonight. Come on with it, man.
So when your fathers tempted me, proved me.
And when your fathers did what?
Tempted me.
So they tried me. Listen.
It proved me and saw my work.
He say, okay, you want to prove, you want to try me? That's what people don't realize, man. Yahuwah ain't got to prove himself to you. If you think Yahuwah proving this, if you think Yahuwah got to prove himself to you, then you doing that Deuteronomy 6:16. Don't tempt Yahuwah your Elohim. You going to hell. Prove to me you God. I'm going to prove to you, you God. I'm God, all right. I'm going to guide you to hell, you unrepentant, unbelieving, dirty, booty bastard. Why he need to prove himself to you and you can see his works when you walk out the door, nigga? What's wrong with you? Come on, man.
Say 40 years long was I grieved with this generation and said it is a people that do err in their heart and they have
do err where?
Ways in their heart. Unto whom I swear in my wrath, they should not enter into my rest.
You going to hell. Do you understand how serious that is that man swore on his name, them people wasn't getting in there? We don't consider. We don't consider. We glamorize. We was in the wilderness. This man swore on his wrath, these people were going to hell. Do y'all not understand that all them people he swore on his wrath is not getting into his kingdom? Y'all understand that? That man swore on his name, boy, that sign sealed and delivered. They not getting it. You niggas out here around here doing the doggone, you know what I'm saying? 5-knuckle shuffle out this whole, boy, you playing games. Where you was at before, man?
I just read that Psalm 95.
We're good. Let me read the Psalms 82. Psalms 82 and 1. Elohim stand in the congregation of the mighty, he judge among the gods. How long will you judge unjustly and accept the persons of the wicked, say lie? Defend the poor and fatherless, do justice to the afflicted and needy, deliver the poor and needy, rid out of the hand of the wicked. See, that's the same token when you look at Yahushua. Was he not poor and fatherless? Tell him what the definition of fatherless is, man. So you can see how he was fatherless. So you can see how Abba kept his word. You dig? Listen. What's a fatherless child?
Fatherless is an orphan, fatherless, a bereaved person.
A bereaved person. Y'all know what a bereaved person is, man? You know what bereaved means? Bereaved. You ever heard somebody on bereavement leave?
Somebody done passed away.
Oh, grieved. Oh, I didn't know what you said. I thought you said bereaved again. My apologies. So that's somebody who's in a saddened state. That's what it means, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Get Matthew 26 and 39, man. 26 and 36, man. I don't know what that say, man. Maybe that can help us out a little bit. Because everybody like to say, defend the fatherless. Man, a single mother's not a father. That's not a fatherless child. That man said an orphan, didn't he? Mm-hmm. You know what an orphan is? You ain't got no parents, nigga. You ever seen an orphanage before? No, you haven't. Only on TV. Or them African niggas on IG asking you to send some money. Don't you send them niggas your money. They scamming. They gonna have your bank info.
I don't say 30 cents a day.
Nah. Them niggas ain't talking about no 30 cents a day. They sending you pictures of children with flies flying around. I'm talking about, help us out. Shalom, Aki, help us out. Because you ain't, man. Once the people you in the world. See, now the scammers doing a different thing on Facebook. They putting up pictures and giving themselves Israelite names to slide the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency in on niggas, man. They doing anything to scam you. Don't fall for it. Come on, man.
So then come Yahushua to a place called Gethsemane and said unto the disciples, sit you here while I go pray yonder. And he took with him Peter and the two sons of Zebedee and began to be sorrowful and very heavy.
Can to be what?
Sorrowful and very heavy.
What he said after that?
Then said he unto them, my soul exceeding sorrowful, even unto death.
Ain't that mean he bereaved? Now come back to Psalms 82, good sir, and tell me what defend mean, man.
That's Shabbat. To judge, to govern, to vindicate.
To vindicate. You know what that means, to vindicate somebody? Prove them out to be right, ain't it? He said, now tell them what word for poor is it? Is it ani? What word for poor is being used here?
That is dull, low, poor, weak, thin, one who is low.
One who is low. So you're dealing with, he say, vindicate the low and the bereaved out of the hand of the wicked. That's what it's saying. Oh, I skipped one. I skipped afflicted and needy. Give me afflicted and needy. I was in the verse.
Afflicted is on need, poor, afflicted.
I need that.
Wretched.
Somebody who's humble, been wretched. Shalom, bro.
The needy is roof.
Oh, shalom, sis. I'm sorry. My apologies. My bad.
That's poor. I spoke to be in want, to lack.
To be in want or to lack. Wasn't he in want of salvation? Look at Vince McMahon. He had to resign. They around here talking about Vince McMahon around here doodling girls' hair. For real. He just got sued. Same stuff they been said he did. He had to resign off the chair. They probably brought this lawsuit because they wanted to get him up out the company. You know what I'm saying? Vince knew this junk was coming. He knew he was a nasty bastard. But see, this is the thing, though. And that's not to say that he ain't been doing no nasty stuff. But if you signed the NDA and let somebody pay you, how was he sex trafficking you? And this is what the lady said, he sex trafficked me. Because he let some of the people in the office have sex with me. Because she trying to sue so the NDA could be broken. See, situations like that, unfortunately, is what leads some people to believe that you was with the sexual degeneracy and now the money done ran out and now you trying to be vindictive to get a couple more dollars out of this man. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to tell you something. If I ain't want a nigga to do on me, I'd have told on him for a quote. You know what I'm talking about? That sounds crazy. I'm dead serious. This is in the lawsuit. This woman says she had to pick fecal matter out of her hair. You know what I'm saying? That he defecated on her. I'm not going. Do you understand how sick of a person you got to be to ask somebody to do that? And how doubly sick you got to be to let him? That's nasty, man. I don't even see how that turned you on.
Ain't no amount of money worth that.
Shoot, there's people out here doing that for free.
Yeah, let me go to Dubai.
Oh yeah, you remember they say that in Dubai, they want them women to let camels boo-boo on them. Then you got the doggone city girl chick talking about, I like to get peed on. You nasty. You nasty. You just nasty. Ain't nothing else to go. And that, after you hear stuff like that, why would you even want to hear? See, it's certain stuff, man. Like, I ain't gonna mention the dude's name, man. Once I heard this dude make a song about this nigga went out like a sucker, I can't listen to that nigga music no more. Every time I hear it, I just get disgusted. You know what I'm talking about? I don't want to hear this. So you talking about a chick talking about you want to get peed on. You gonna cut her music on? She nasty. Because you know if she talking about she get peed on, she drunk it. Yeah, you know she drunk some urine. You got to know that. Because this dude talking about she had fecal matter in her head. I mean, he boo-booed on her face. Man, how you go for that? I don't care how much money they paying, baby. How you go for that? That's why I be telling y'all the stuff I be telling y'all. Because if you don't watch over your children, there's going to be an old white man boo-booing on them. It's going to be a nasty black man peeing on your dog. And it's going to be your fault, nigga. She did, but shoot, it's some whores got to draw the line. You know what I'm saying?
I said, I ain't drawing nothing.
Oh, for real, though, man. I say, I watch sometimes y'all think I did. I be saying, I'm like, man, you don't watch over your children, man. Boy, some nasty degenerates out here. Like I said, them rich people. But guess what? It's regular people do. Look at, man, Fat Boy used to stay next door to swingers, bro. It's plenty time we go to this house, man, and the people be over there, man, having swinger parties. These niggas weren't rich. Hell, they were staying in apartments all to the expressway. They definitely ain't rich over there. And I'm like, they swinging, bro? Swinging? Look here, it was a Hebrew congregation in Louisiana. Them boys were swinging. And they was in the word, man. In their mind. In their mind. They was in something, but it definitely wasn't the word. Them boys was in filth. I'm not even making that up, man. I wish I was exaggerating and making that up. This came to light about 2015. I'm not even making this up. So the word will be doing. It's a cold world out here, baby. They playing dirty games. You know what I'm saying? Where you at with it, man?
You're in Psalms 82?
Yeah, okay. Give me the definition for afflicted and needy.
Yeah, afflicted was on knee.
Oh, yeah, you mentioned that one. What was needy? Roosh.
Be poor, to be in want, to lack.
To lack. Verse 4, Psalms 82, deliver the poor and needy, rid out of the hand of the wicked. They know not, neither will they understand. He said the wicked don't know, nor will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. Get me John 17 and 21. Nigga, he said they won't know or understand. The wicked, when they do this to the gods, hey boy, I see you looking over here, bro. No, you want to come over here?
So you ain't got what I want, man.
I'm just looking right now. You just looking right now? Come on with it, man.
That they all may be one, as you, Abba, and me, and I and you, that they also may be one in us, that the world may believe that you have sent me. And the esteem which you gave me, I have given them, that they may be one, even as we are one.
That's right.
I and them, you and me, that they may be made perfect in one, and that the world may know that you have sent me, and I've loved them as you have loved me. Abba, I will that they also, whom you have given me, be with me where I am, that they may behold my esteem, which you have given me, for you loved me before the foundation of the world. O righteous Abba, the world have not known you, but
the world have not what?
Have not known
the
you.
world have not what?
Known you.
But I've what?
Known you.
And what he did?
These have known that you have sent me.
Listen.
And I have declared unto them your name, and will declare that the love wherewith you have loved me may be in them and I in them.
But come back to Psalms 82 and 5, man, and tell them what foundations is, man. And then tell them what out of course is. Because he said that they walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. Tell them what foundations is, man. Not that stuff you put on your face, man.
Foundation.
Say that again.
Mossad, that's foundation.
Now give me Psalms 11 and 1 and listen to this.
In Yahuwah put I my trust. How say you to my soul, flee a bird to your mountain?
For lo,
the wicked bend bow, they make ready their arrow upon the string, that they may privily shoot at the upright in heart.
He said the wicked want to do what? Privily shoot at the upright in heart. Listen what he said after that.
If the foundation be destroyed, what can the righteous do?
Tell him what foundations is. That man say, if the foundations be destroyed, what can the righteous do?
That's shathar, foundation, support, or stay.
That which supports or stay, if that's destroyed, what can the righteous do? Keep that in your brain as we keep on going. What verse 4 say? Yahuwah is where?
In his Kadash temple.
Yahuwah's throne is where?
In Shamayim.
His eyes behold.
His eyelids try the children of men.
He said his eyelids do what to the sons of Adam?
They try.
Tell him what try is right there, man. We got a little time.
That's bakan, to examine, to try, to prove.
See that again? You see how that proving come in at? He gonna pry. He say his eyelids proved men. Listen what he say after this. Yahuwah do what?
Try the righteous.
Yahuwah do what?
But the wicked in him that love violence his soul hates.
He say he try the righteous, but the wicked and those who love violence are an abomination. Listen.
Upon the wicked he shall rain snares.
Fire.
And brimstone.
A horrible tempest.
Shall be their portion of their cup.
For the righteous.
Yahuwah love righteousness. His countenance do behold the upright.
Now listen, right? He said the foundations of the earth are out of course. Tell him what out of course is. He said if the foundations are gone, what the righteous going to do? Now you say the foundations are out of course, is meaning that wrong judgment proceed. Like he said in the prophet.
Out of course is moat, that's to totter, to shake, to slip, to be shaken, to be moved, be overthrown.
To be overthrown.
To dislodge, to let
so
fall,
the foundations of the earth are overthrown, which means to get them Job 9:24. Man, I just Watchman, man. God.
Said the earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
It's given into the hands of the who?
Of the wicked.
What else?
He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, who is he?
He said he covered the faces of the judges thereof. 2 Corinthians 11 and 4. This is how you see how the foundations are out of course. And he's saying if the foundations are gone, what are the righteous going to do? That's what he said, ain't it? Listen.
For if he that come preach another Yahushua, whom we have not preached, or you receive another Ruach, which
I
you
said
have
11.
not.
I should have said 2 Corinthians 4 and 4. That's my bad.
They say, in whom the Elohim of this world have blinded the minds of them which believe not.
So listen, the Elohim of this world has blinded the eyes of those that believe not. This is how the foundations are destroyed. You understand? This is why the foundations of the earth are out of course. Because they call good evil and evil good. That's what he said. Woe unto you who do this. He said, what can the righteous do? Because what did he just say about the righteous? Who would try the righteous, but those who commit wickedness and violence, his soul hate. You know what I'm talking about? So when you see how's it out of course, because people like to say the world give it in the hand of the wicked. That's the white man. Man, that's any man. How do we see the world is given into the hands of the wicked? Because the God of this world has blinded the eyes of those who don't believe. This causes the foundations of the earth to be out of course, which just causes them to totter and slip because the world is being overthrown through wickedness. What can the righteous do? Trust in Yahuwah, like we just read in Psalms 11. So come back to Psalms 82 and 6. Listen what he said. I have said, you gods, and all you sons of the Most High, or sons of El Elyon, but you shall die like Adam and fall like one of the princes. Tell them what fall is. Tell them what princes is, man.
That's to fall, to lie, to be cast down, to fail. Princes is Sar, prince, ruler, leader, chief.
Listen, he say, but you shall die like us. With men, they say that's Adam. You should die like Adam. Well, what killed Adam? Adam died by the law. The law slew him. You know what I'm talking about? That's what killed him. Guess what killing you? The law, because you're contrary to it. You know what I'm talking about?
Now listen, right? He said, ye are gods, and all you were sons of the Most High. Was not Adam as of God? But he not a son of the Most High? Can he not make that claim? So not because he could make that claim, he said, you shall die like men. So when you see that the Son of God, get John 10 and 30, man. I'll let the Lord tell it to you.
I and Abba are one. Then the Yahudim took up stones again to stone him. Yahweh answered them, many good works have I showed you from my Abba.
Listen.
For which of those works do you stone me?
They say for what?
For good work we stone you not,
but for what?
Blasphemy.
Because you being a man.
Make yourself Elohim.
What the Lord told him.
Yahweh answered them, it is not written. Is it not written in your law? I said you are God.
He said, is it not written in your law you are gods?
He called them gods unto whom the word of Elohim came.
He said he called them gods and the word came from God.
And the scripture cannot be broken.
You can't break that. Tell him what broken mean right there, man. He said the scripture can't be broken. What that is in the Greek, man.
That's luo. That's to loose any person or thing tied or fastened.
Can't loose that word.
To break up, to destroy, to dissolve, to melt, to put off.
You can't put it off. You can't destroy it. You can't dissolve it. He said that word can't be broken. That's coming to pass. Listen. What the Lord told.
Say you of him whom the Abba have sanctified and sent into the world, you blaspheme because I said I am the son of Elohim. Now,
didn't he tell you in John 1, he gave you the power to be called the sons of Elohim? So what does this mean for us? I've said you gods. That means he's saying that he wants you to be in the state that the first Adam was in, that the first Adam fell from, so you could become, so he sent the second Adam so that you could go back to the original state that he intended from the beginning. Because remember, he said the lamb was slain from where? So that means the foundations of the earth were out of course the minute that Adam died. Because the minute Adam died, toil and trouble was able to enter in. And then men were out here executing sin because they had knowledge of good and evil. And when you have knowledge of good and evil, see, this is what people don't understand. And I told you this before. Most children don't have knowledge of what is evil. When they have knowledge of, once you begin to gain the knowledge of evil, guess what come after that? Lust. You know what I'm talking about? And when I say lust, we talk about desire, because now you're tempted and you have a desire for that which is illicit because you're curious of what it is and what it might be. You know what I'm talking about? And through that curiosity, it deceives you, and that deception leads to your destruction. But you won't find that out until you participate. Which is why when it comes to certain things, people like to keep information from their kids. You don't want them to know about it. You know what I'm talking about? Everybody know what I'm talking about on the natural side. You don't want them to know. You don't want them to know because you don't want them to be tempted of that which is evil. Which is why we always say kids are what? Innocent. Well, guess what? That's how Yahuwah created you in the garden. That's how he intended you to be. He didn't want you to know about that. But the minute you know about that, now man knows the difference, and now he can participate in evil. And because made man upright, but man seek out many inventions, man has a desire to fulfill all those lusts, plots, plans, and desires. And because that sin is against that evil work ain't executed speedily, you get it in your mind that I can be just as evil as I want to be. You know what I'm talking about? Which in turn has you in this dire situation and circumstance that we all find ourselves in because we died like Adam. See, this is showing you with this Psalms 82 when he said this is not written. See, he mentioned that, yeah, you are God. You say I'm wrong because I say I'm the son of God, but I'm still going to die like a man and I'm going to fall like that prince. I'm going to fall. Because, see, I ain't going to lie to you. Have we ever done that before? I don't know. Somebody tell me. Have we ever looked at Adam with Proverbs 24 and 16? Have we ever done that before? I can't remember. Somebody let me know. Have we ever looked at Adam as it pertains? Somebody let me know. I'm being serious because you know my mind bad. Because if we ain't did it, if we have did it, then I ain't got to go do it. But if we haven't done it, then we finna go do it. Have we ever looked at Adam with Proverbs 24 and 16, man? Have we ever paid attention to that? Somebody talk to me. Get Proverbs 24 and 16 and read it to me.
Say, for a just fall 7 times and rise up again, but the wicked shall fall into mischief.
My mama says she don't think we done did it before. Come on now. It's a lot of y'all on here. Y'all would know. Have we did this with Adam before? Because if not, we finna do it. Don't worry about it. Y'all taking too long. Come on to Genesis 3:1. I ain't got time to wait. Now remember, right? Pause, because I want to establish how Adam was a just man. 1 Timothy 1:4. I need to establish that. And after you read 1 Timothy 1:4, I need you to read me Ecclesiastes 7:29.
Neither give heed to fables and endless genealogies, which minister questions rather than godly edifying, which is in faith. Now the end of the commandment is love out of a pure heart and a good conscience, and faith unfeigned.
Listen.
From which some, having swerved, have turned aside unto vain jangling, desiring to be teachers of the law, understanding neither what they say nor whereof they affirm.
Listen.
But we know that the law is good if a man use it lawfully.
Listen.
Knowing this, that the law is not made for a righteous man.
The law is not made for what?
A righteous man.
The law is not made for what?
A righteous man.
The law is made for who?
For the lawless and disobedient.
Now give me Galatians 3:19. So he said the law was not made for a righteous man. It was made for who? Sinners. Come on now.
Wherefore then the law, it was added because of transgression.
The law was added because of what?
Transgression.
Now give me Ecclesiastes 7:29. The law was added because of transgression.
Lo, this only have I found, that Elohim have made man upright.
He made man what?
Upright.
Didn't he make man in Genesis 2:7? What is upright? That means he made him straight. He made him correct. But man sought out what, sir?
Many inventions.
Proverbs 6:16.
These 6 do Yahuwah hate, yea, 7 an abomination unto him. A proud look.
Hold on. A proud what?
A proud look.
What else?
A lying tongue.
What else?
Hands that shed innocent blood.
What else?
A heart that devises wicked imagination.
What else?
Feet that be swift in running to mischief.
What else?
A false witness that speak lies.
And what else?
He that sow discord among brethren.
Now give me Proverbs 26:23.
Burning lips and a wicked heart, a potsherd covered with silver draws.
Mm-hmm.
He that hate dissemble with his lips and lay up
Tell him what this symbol means.
The car, to recognize, to acknowledge, to know, to respect, to discern, to regard.
Listen, he lay up what in his heart?
Oh, deceit within him.
When he speak fair, don't what?
Believe him not.
Why?
For 7 abominations in his heart.
Now I want you to come over here right now. We know we done talk about that for plenty of time. That talking about Judas. Now you're gonna see where it come from his daddy. We're going to go to Genesis 3:1, and you're going to see the serpent did the exact same thing. The only difference with Adam, and he didn't rise again. And it's going to help me to slide in this other epistle letter that I had on deck so you can get an understanding of what it means too from out this law, man. Genesis 3:1. Listen to it.
Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field.
So if he was more subtle than any beast of the field, listen.
Which Yahuwah Elohim have made, and he said unto the woman, yea, have Elohim said, you shall not eat of every tree of the garden.
Listen what he do.
And the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree in the midst of the garden, Elohim have said, you shall not eat of it, neither shall you touch it, lest you die.
And the serpent said what?
Unto the woman, you shall not surely
So
die.
the first thing you see him doing, number one, he coming with a proud look off top. You also see how he coming with a lying tongue. You also seeing that clearly his heart has devised this wicked imagination, and his feet are certainly swift to run into mischief, and he about to bear false witness that speak a lie. Listen to the next thing he say. Listen.
Elohim, do know that in the day you eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and you shall be as gods, knowing good and evil.
So again, you see that proud look, and you know when he said it, I guess what he got hands to do? To shed innocent blood. And in doing so, he's trying to sow discord among brethren. Not discord between Adam and Eve, but discord between Adam and Elohim. Let me see what brother say. He says, since being around, I don't think so. I heard it from Yahoo's perspective, nor Adam's. Oh, yeah, we done did it from Yahoo's perspective. It's on the channel with that verse specifically. It's about almost 10 years old. You know what I'm talking about? Well, actually 11. You know what I'm saying? But it's the initial. It's been sprinkled in a lot of times, but the initial, it's on the channel, named or specific. I'll text it to you. You know what I'm saying? I'll find and text it to you. But we ain't never did it from Adam's perspective. So when you see this, right, what's finna happen to Adam? He finna fall. You know what I'm talking about? Now remember, he was a righteous man. We established that already. Mm-hmm. He was not a sinner. We established in this aspect because we understand that he laid his life down for his wife. It's forth as the testimony of Mashiach. We know they ain't supposed to eat from it. You know what I'm talking about? We already know that. But what we're showing how Satan, because if Judas had these 7 abominations, give me John 13 real quick, man. Read me verse 1. I just want you to see that, because what is Satan? He's an adversary. Ain't that what he is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So now before the feast of the Passover, when Yahushua knew that his hour was come, that he should depart out of this world unto the Abba, having loved his own which were in the world, he loved them unto the end. And supper being ended, the devil had been now put into the heart of Judas Iscariot, Simon's son, to betray him. Yahushua, knowing that the Abba had given all things into his hands, and that he was come from Elohim and went to Elohim, he rise up from supper and laid aside his garments and took a towel and girded himself.
Mm-hmm.
After that, he poured water into a basin and began to wash the disciples' feet and to wipe with the towel wherewith he was girded. Then came to him Simon Peter, and Peter said unto him, Lord, do you wash my feet? Yahushua answered and said unto him, What I do you know not now, but you shall know hereafter. Peter said unto him, You shall never wash my feet. Yahushua answered him, If I wash you not, you have no part with me. Simon Peter said unto him, Lord, not my feet only, but also my hands and my head. Yahushua saith to him, He that is washed need not save to wash feet, but is clean every whit, and you are clean, but not all. For he knew who should betray him. Therefore said he, You are not all clean.
My bad. I think I might have missed what I was listening for. Make sure. Drop to verse 21.
So when Yahushua thus said, he was troubled in Ruach and testified and said, Truly, truly, I say unto you that one of you shall betray me.
Go ahead.
Then the disciples looked one on another, doubting of whom he spake. Now there was leaning on Yahushua's bosom one of his disciples, whom Yahushua loved. Simon Peter therefore beckoned to him that he should ask who it should be of whom he spake. He then lying on Yahushua's breast said unto him, Lord, who is it? Yahushua answered, He it is to whom I will give a sop when I have dipped. And when he had dipped the sop, he gave to Judas Iscariot of Simon. And after the sop, Hashatan entered into him, then said Yahushua.
Who entered into him?
Hashatan.
Who entered into him?
Hashatan.
So see, and if Hashatan entered into him, and we see him in the garden, and he spake fair, but don't believe him because 7 abominations is in his heart, then you see he just did what his daddy did. Because you are your father, the devil, and the lust of your father you will do. Because he was a liar from the beginning and a murderer. You know what I'm talking about? But I didn't want you to see that he came. Of course, we talking about Eve, but when I say he came at Adam, because he called their name Adam, so that's why I'm saying that. You know what I'm talking about? Because obviously we can tell he did that to Eve. But that just man fell 7 times, because this goes into how he's representative of Mashiach. He became sin who knew no sin. And he fell, or he, because fall in that, read Proverbs 24 and 16 and give them a definition for fall in the Hebrew, so they know what that means. Everybody read that, they think that fall means committing sin, and that's not what that means.
That's not fall. To fall, to lie, to be cast down, to fail.
To fail, to cast down. What else?
We got to slay, to smite out.
To smite, to slay, to kill.
Throw down.
So you can't be a righteous man and sin 7 times, and that's why you fail. You wouldn't be a righteous man at that point. And I know from time to time we have to reiterate that, because I know that this is one of the most misinterpreted passages in this book.
To be judged by mistake.
To be judged by mistake. To be judged by mistake. And don't we know that the righteous was condemned? When the law say that the righteous will never be condemned over the wicked, he was judged by mistake. He was killed. He made his grave with the wicked. That's what the book say, ain't it? Now, of course, it is a quick one for the people who don't know, because Judas came and spake fair. Hail, master. But we know the scribes and Pharisees bear false witness on it. They say if he was a malefactor, he wouldn't be here. We know they sow discord among brethren, because they say if you say he a king, then Caesar, you're not Caesar's friend. Ain't that what they said? Well, they're not out there telling the people to crucify him. Didn't Pilate say this man ain't did nothing amiss? Did they not shed innocent blood? And they say let his blood be on our what? Children. Did they not turn around after that and have a proud look? And they say, if you be the Son of God, come down and save yourself. Did they not have feet swift to run to that mischief and a wicked imagination to divide it in John 11 to 45 to 49 when they say we gonna kill him unless we lose our place in nation? They did all that to the Lord, and guess what? Satan did it to Adam. Because if it happened to the second Adam, guess what had to happen to the first? It's the same thing. So when he tell you that you are the son, you are gods and you are the sons of the Most High, but you shall die like men and fall like one of the princes, I guess you know that happened to happen to Yahushua, which means that got to happen to us. But we know what happened to the second Adam. He rose again. The first Adam didn't rise again. He couldn't rise again. Now, for those of you who don't know, we know that happened to Samson. This happened to Joseph. You know what I'm talking about? As far as Proverbs 24:16 is concerned, Joseph even better. You know what I'm talking about? So when we see these things, we see that if we are able to endure through the sufferings, like we read in 1 Peter 4:14, that you would be called blessed. Ain't that's what the book said? Now, there's another element of what it is I wanted to look at. I can't even remember. It was just in my mind. Oh, yeah. 2 Corinthians 5:1. I don't have the page in my book, so I don't believe. Let me make sure before you start reading, because I might have to slide to the app. I'm going to have to slide to the app. This hit my mind the other day. This 2 Corinthians 5:1, and this going to take us back. I was telling Sylvia the other day, of course, obviously, y'all can tell this because we've been doing this a lot. And, you know, praise be to Abba and Shamahim in the name of Yahushua. Clearly, you know, we've been looking at a lot of things that deal with Adam. You know what I'm talking about? And how that pertains to Mashiach. And, of course, you know, we done had years where we closed out or began talking about being sons of God. But now we just want to look at the elements of the first son of God in comparison to the second son of God. Because, of course, Adam, his offspring was sons of God, but he didn't give them the power to become that. Because remember, give me John 1:12. I'll show you the difference. Dookie Duke. What you hiding for? I ain't coming over there.
But as many as received him, to
as many as what?
Received
now,
him.
see, there's a difference because nobody received Adam. You did? Ah, man, shoot, man. We keep changing them doggone batteries, man. I get tired of that. Come on.
To them gave he power to become the sons of Elohim. To them that believe
he gave him power to
name,
become the what?
Sons of Elohim. To them that believe on his name.
Go ahead.
Which are born out of blood.
Not born out of what?
Of blood.
Or what else?
The will of flesh.
Or what else?
The will of man.
Or what else?
But of Elohim.
See, everyone that's called the son of God from Adam, they were born by the will of man and the will of blood and of the flesh, right? Mm-hmm. So you see how the difference, there's a difference in the play. You know what I'm talking about? But come over here to 2 Corinthians 5:1. You did? And let's rock this on out.
Say, for we know that if our earthly house, if tabernacles were dissolved, we have a building of Elohim, a house not made with hands.
Hold on, pause. I might got you in the wrong spot. My bad. I did, because it's 1 Corinthians 5. 1 Corinthians 5. Let me make sure if I got that page in here. I do have that page in here, so we can rock that out. 1 Corinthians 5:1. That's what I want.
It is reported commonly fornication among you, and such fornication as is not so as much named among the Gentiles, that one should have his father's wife. Mm-hmm. You are puffed up and have not rather mourned.
You are what?
That have puffed up and have not rather mourned, that he that have done this deed might be taken away from among you. Mm-hmm. For I truly, as absent in the body, but present in Ruach, have judged already, as though it were present, him that have so done this deed.
In the name of our Lord,
Yahushua Mashiach,
when you are gathered together,
and my Ruach, with the power of our Lord, Yahushua Mashiach,
to deliver such a one,
unto Hashatan,
for the destruction of the what?
Of the flesh,
that the Ruach
may be saved in the day of the Lord Yahushua.
Pause. Can y'all tell me how that relates to the law? Can y'all tell me how this verse 5 relates to the law? He said to deliver such a one to Satan, that they might be destroyed in the flesh, right? But that the spirit might be saved. Because somebody told me that in the law. Can y'all show me? Can anybody tell me? What y'all got for me? Oh, I think he mentioned that the smoke alarm. I think she just changed the batteries again. Man, we changed some batteries in the smoke alarm, man, and them hoes were dead in a week. The cheap batteries. I'm like, man, we just changed these hoes. But cheap batteries will do it. Joanne, you with the tomfoolery. You know what you with? You with the baby rigmarole. That's what you with. That boy say, how come every time I come over here, you always with the homosexual rigmarole? And he said, what's wrong with your cognitive function? That nigga funny, boy. You know what I mean? That nigga should have had his own TV show. You drawing a blank, Brother Nate? Y'all ain't got nothing for me? You know what's wild? We just read it. Let's go to Genesis 3 and read verse 1 one more time. Because you're going to see that Eve got delivered to Satan for the destruction of the flesh, but we're going to look and see how Ruach would be saved for the day of the Lord. Because what did Yahuwah not do to them in the garden? He ain't take them out, did he? Yeah. He said they would surely die, but did they not live though? Their flesh was destroyed. And we're going to show you how their flesh is destroyed by how he spared their Ruach. You should remember when we go to talk about them coverings. You know what I'm talking about? Go ahead, man. Genesis 3 and 1 more time.
Now, the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which Yahuwah Elohim had made.
So again, a lot of people be like, why didn't Adam stop her? Because she got to be tried too. See, this is one of the things that a lot of people don't want to accept, deal with, or realize. Everybody, and I mean everybody, male or female, Yahuwah gonna prove you. He gonna prove you. He gonna prove you. And you know how we can see this line this up? Because he tried the whole nation of Yasharal in the wilderness, man, and he considered you to be his wife. See, a lot of women, unfortunately, and I think that comes from a lot of negative thought processes that some women have picked up through the course of their life, through certain situations and circumstances that they've experienced. I think some of it comes from bitter women who like to impart bitter mindsets upon young women. I think some of it comes from negative interactions with certain caliber of men. And I think some of it comes from simp suckers and busters who impart this mindset on them as if they feel that Yahuwah will not test, prove, try, instruct, guide, or do anything with them, you know what I'm talking about, whatsoever. But when it comes to the saving of the soul, everybody's going to be tried. That's not a male specific thing. He won't see what's in everybody's heart. And I think sometimes because we get caught up in this gender war type deal, and you see this situation with Eve's heart had to be tried. It had to be proved. Adam's heart was proved, and it proved that as my father do, the son do likewise. Because if we read in the text and it say that Elohim is love and Adam is of Elohim, then he only did what his father taught him. So he laid his life down so that you could understand that when you seen the second Adam do it. See, we walk around here talking about he's a simp and he's a sucker and he's this and he's that because we know you. The love of God is not in you. Because we talked about this before, and I told you, BOA just said that the other day. He said, if I was Adam, I'd have told him this one here messed up. I got another wife. Adam could have did the same thing, and he didn't. Adam could have did the same thing. He could have said, give me another wife. The same way that once Yasharal broke the covenant with Yahuwah, he could have said, get me another people. That's what people don't realize when they say that. Then you say he should have got another people. But he didn't do that. He didn't do that. That's why I get offended when I see dudes talking about Adam a simp. I hope you go to hell, you blaspheming bastard. Because you called Yahuwah a simp. Because you Eve, nigga. The very thing Eve did, you did it. And you know how you know you did it? Because you boast in them curses to prove you an Israelite. So shut your funky behind mouth, nigga. You stink breath bastard. You know what I'm talking about? You condemning yourself, you big dummy. Because you saying Yahuwah should have got rid of you. But guess what he didn't do? Guess what he didn't do? Guess what he didn't do?
Get rid of you.
He did what Adam did. I looked upon her and seen her flesh was destroyed, and I say, I will die with her so she could live. Like we talked about before, Adam couldn't be the redeemer. So when he died with her, he couldn't bring her back from that position. That was reserved for somebody else, but we too blind and stupid to see it. See, we don't say this stuff to say, look, we proving these niggas wrong. We talking about, man, it's the love of God we talking about, man. Boy, that's the love. That man say God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten son. He didn't give Adam to die, but Adam gave himself. And guess what? Was not Adam the only begotten of Yahuwah at that particular point in time? And he said he did it not to condemn the world, but to save it. See, the difference was why he threw her under the bus, because Adam wasn't there to save her. That wasn't his job. but he still got to walk out the work. If you believe that the law was a shadow of things to come, you can't tell me you believe this man is a shadow of animal sacrifices and you can't see this man sacrificing himself. You can't tell me you that dense in the brain. You can't tell me that. I seen dude talking about earlier, he said, man, you can't read nowhere where Isaiah 9 and 6 is ascribed to Yahushua. You ain't gonna read nowhere where any of the script ascribed to Yahushua, but a handful. That's why a lot of brothers gonna go to hell also, because you looking for where did the apostles say this? Where did the apostles say that? Remember what we talked about in that Luke 24, man? When that man showed them the whole book was about him, he did not break down where he showed them and what he taught them, because the Ruach got to give you that, baby. The Ruach got to get. You think Yahuwah gonna let you get off like that there, man? You thought that what he was gonna do? You thought he was just gonna let them boy write that all down so you could no. Oh, you're gonna have to actually believe, my G. He gonna actually have to give that to men approved of him to share with the people to see who gonna believe and who ain't. You want it on easy mode.
Let's make it plain for us.
So you can regurgitate it. Because guess what? What place is mentioned about Yahushua in the New Testament off the top of your head from the apostle? Isaiah 53, Psalms 2, Psalm 16. That's about it. You know what I'm talking about? When you read in Acts 2, man, you don't see them breaking all that stuff down. You see that stuff that Paul told them in Acts 13. He ain't really get gangster with it. Because it said Paul did that, didn't it? From Moses and the law and the prophets. It said Apollos from Alexandria did it, but it don't show you where they went. It don't show you what he showed them. Because God got to show that. That's how you know it's a word from him. That's what brother don't realize. That's how you know it's from him. See, you get caught up on the preacher because you really are a worshiper of man. You're not really listening for the voice of the shepherd. Because when you hear that, you would know that word came from God, and then you would set your faith and hope in God like you're supposed to. You know what I'm talking about? See, we don't want to do that. It's going to make you do it. You know what dude told me that? He told me, I say, man, we believe, I just said this yesterday. I said, man, we believe the whole book about the Lord. He talking about, that you can't say that. I say, nigga, I just did. What you talking about? And then I tell you, talking about, well, you serving him in vain if you say that. The whole book is not about Christ. The whole book is about God. I say, yeah, you stupid, so I'm not even going to respond to you. Yeah, with the doctrine rigmarole. That's what we're going to start calling you niggas. Why is you with the doctrinal rigmarole? These niggas are with the doctrinal rigmarole. Because I'm like, because it's just like this here, right? And I seen a dude say that earlier. Dudes get upset when you say that Yahushua is Yahuwah, or that you say that he God. But the book's showing you this. This ain't none of this Trinitarian stuff all this other people talking about. The book is showing you this. The book is showing you this. If Yahushua ain't Yahuwah, then that means that the son died for somebody else's wife. You know what I'm saying? He said they just lacking understanding. The Ruach of prophecy is all throughout the book. Amen. You ain't told no story, Monte. That man said, I'm a spouse to you. He said, I'm married to you. That man said, go marry a whore who love flagons of wine and look to other gods so they can know the love I got for them. It's all through there, man. But it's like I said, you want to believe that you dealt with the Father because you think that you so pious and righteous. Man, we couldn't deal with that, man. We'd be dead. You know what I'm talking about? You don't even realize that not dealing with the Father is an aspect of his mercy because he's too pure and too righteous to deal with us. I let my son deal with you. I'll kill him so I can spare y'all because y'all out of pocket. Because if I come around here, everybody dying. Because you would fail to be able to stand in my presence. I don't think we realize how pure, just, righteous, clean, and Kadash that Abba is. I don't think we realize that. But I can understand why people think Yahuwah is the Father. You know what I'm saying? The Father. But clearly you can see from the witness of the testimony that that's Yahushua, man. That's who you've been dealing with. You had to deal with it, man. See, people don't want to do that because they get in all this other stuff because you just don't want to accept your God loved you so much that he made himself lesser so you could be greater. And he didn't make himself lesser because he had anything to gain from it. He did it because that's a part of his character. Praise be to you. You know what I'm talking about? You don't realize that. You don't realize that. That's a part of who he is, man. Amen, Brother Smoke. That's a part of who he is, man. That's why he can say Elohim is love, because the Father is love. The Father slain the Lamb from the foundation of the world. That's how you know the Father love. Clearly you know the Son love, because look what he did. So then when we turn around and look at what Adam did, we can see the same. Because that's love, man. He didn't have to do that. I told you, I explained that to some brothers. They lost their mind. I said, you do know Adam willfully died. He willfully died. The book said the woman was in the deceit. Not Adam. It said the woman was in the transgression, which means the woman rebelled. So Paul's letting you know the woman was deceived and the woman rebelled. That means Adam wasn't deceived and he didn't rebel. That means he willfully laid his life down. That sound familiar? Didn't Yasharal get deceived by sin? Didn't Yasharal rebel? And was Yahusha deceived? Did Yahusha rebel? But greater love had no man of this, that a man lay his life down for his friends. And he willfully did it. But you look at Adam and say, no, that's not what's there. Because you going to hell, nigga. That's why you can't see it. Because I don't see how people can't see that, man. And when I say I can't see why people can't see it, I'm talking about, and they say they love God. Or they have the love of God. Or even better, I keep his commandments. So you say you got all that and you can't see that, brother? Are you serious? When we can read Isaiah 65, and he said, I spread out my hands all the day to a gainsaying people, and I'm sought by people who ain't called by my name, and he ain't even stunting the people who ain't called by name. Come on, man. He said the Ruach of prophecy was right there from the beginning. Amen. It was right there from the beginning. We got to see it. If we say we believe, it's right there. It's smacking you. This how you know that Yahusha is. This how you know Yahuwah real, man. That's how you know it's real, man. That's why it's not laid out through the text of what he taught them. So you know it's real. So if you know it's real, you can have respect to the recompense of the reward, and you can keep enduring. Like I was telling you the other day, man, when I was talking with my homeboy, man, and he was like, man, I see people need the word. I'll be honest with you. By the grace of the Lord, you know the trap house open all the time. Boy, these people need word daily. Do you understand how spiritually deficient we are? How Amuna, Aman, Batak, Tikva, which is like I'm talking about faith and hope, deficient that we are. Y'all understand how deficient we is, man? I done told you this plenty of time before, man. In congregations, man, they may only get the word once a week. 52 times a year is not enough. I told you about the brother who was boasting about how hard he worked preaching the word. He only preached once a week. Boy, you ain't doing nothing, boy.
365 days.
What's 300 plus days out this hole? What's one day a week gonna do for the people? What's 52 times a year gonna do for somebody?
6 days out the year, they ain't here.
They ain't hearing nothing. That means it's 300 plus days, boy, they ain't hearing nothing. I ain't talking about some people got to go back and watch a video. That's just the creature comforts of the time that we live in. That shouldn't be what people relying on. That should just be an add-on. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all already know. If I could, I'd preach every day. It's just not tangible at this point in time. Yahuwah willing, maybe it will be. Because I preach every day. Every single solitary day. I'm talking about 7 days a week. Absolutely they do. They have service quite regularly.
Wednesday night, at least 3 times a week.
You know what I'm saying? The only difference is they have all them services, but ain't no real word getting dropped.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that because you could tell that the people starving out here, man, and ain't nobody serving nothing. I'm not saying that to big us up. I'm saying that like, nigga, that don't bother y'all, man. You ain't praying to this man. He sent laborers into his harvest because the harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few. That's why I'm saying it. That man say, pray ye the Lord of the harvest that he send laborers into his harvest. Man, we supposed to be praying. And guess what? We got a whole bunch of people out here teaching, but don't nobody know that. That means these boys don't work for him. Not if the people like this. Let me see what they want to say. He said, what does it translate into when it says search the scriptures? Oh, give him John 5:39, then give me Numbers 21 and 10. That's all, man. We gotta pray for each other. We gotta pray for the body. We gotta pray for people who ain't touched their heart yet for when they come in the body, man. That they can get what they need so they can be saved.
Search, or you now that's the search to examine into, to investigate, to see.
So that John 5:39, that Greek word for search, Tavon, it means to search, to investigate, to examine. Now you read Numbers 21 and 10 and listen to that. So I get this last point, man. We get on out of here, man. Numbers 21 and 10. Don Joanne.
Saying the children of Yasharal set forward and pitched in Oboth, and they journeyed from Oboth and pitched in the Jabarim in the wilderness before Moab toward the sun rising. From thence they removed and pitched in the valley of Zered. From thence they removed and pitched on the other side of Arnon, which is in the wilderness that come out of the coast of the Amorites. For Arnon, the border of Moab, between Moab and the Amorites. Wherefore it is said in the book of the wars of Yahuwah what he did in the Red Sea, in the brooks of Arnon, and at the stream of the brooks that go down to the dwelling of Ar and lie upon the border of Moab. And from thence to Beer, to the well whereof Yahuwah spake unto Moses, gather the people together, and I will give them water.
Listen.
Then Yasharal sang this song: Spring up, O well.
Spring up, O what?
O well.
Spring up, O what?
O well.
What he said after that?
Sing you unto it.
Sing unto it.
The princes dig the well.
The princes did what to the well?
Dig the well.
What else they do?
The nobles of the people digged it by the lawgiver with their staves, and from the wilderness to Mount.
He said the nobles did what?
Digged it by the direction of the lawgiver.
They digged it by the direction of the who?
The lawgiver.
Now go back a little bit, man. What he said the princes did?
They dig the well.
Tell them what digged is, man. Tell them what princes and dig for that matter.
Princes is Sar.
That's a chief prince. That's a ruler. What's dig though?
That's kafar, to dig, to search for, to search
for,
out, to seek,
to
explore.
What did they seek? He said the princes dig what?
Well,
tell them what a wells is.
That's BR. That's a well, a pit, a spring.
A pit, a spring. So they search. They around. If you search in the pit, what you around here searching in a pit for? Now listen. Look at what the nobles did. Tell them what a noble is, man. Shalom, bro. Tell them what the nobles did.
Deep and inclined, a willing, a noble, a generous.
Somebody, a prince who's inclined. And what did they say the nobles did, man?
They digged it. That dig is kara, to dig, to excavate, to dig through.
And they did it by the direction of who?
The lawgiver.
Who's the law? What's the lawgiver, man?
To cut out, to decree, to inscribe, to set, to engrave, to portray, to govern.
To govern. Give him Isaiah 33 and 22. Listen to this here, man. He said the nobles did it by the direction of the lawgiver to search it out. You talking about when you dig in this well, remember he told you he'd give you a fountain of cleanliness in Zechariah 13. See, this showing you that those who call themselves the chief princes, the rulers, the people, you supposed to be searching the script out. You supposed to be, the lawgiver told you to do it. You think a lawgiver telling them to dig out a well just to dig out a well, man? And then you see the lawgiver telling you, this is how you know Yahushua is Yahuwah right here. Read this Isaiah 33 and 22. Listen to this.
Yahuwah, our judge.
Yahuwah is our what?
Our judge.
He said that he gave it to the son's hand to judge. Isn't that what John 5 said? Listen to what else he is.
Yahuwah is our lawgiver.
He's our lawgiver. Who you think gave the law to Moses, man? You know what I'm talking about?
So Yahuwah is
Paul, because he said, because if he the chief priest, the order of Melchizedek, guess what that making? A lawgiver. Guess what? Hold on, pause. Go to Genesis 49 and 8 and listen to see if he say he a lawgiver.
Yehuda, Yum, who your brethren shall praise, your hand in the neck of your enemies, your father's children shall bow down before you. Yehuda, a lion's whelp from the prey, my son. You are gone up, he stooped down, he touches a lion, and as an old lion, who shall rouse him up? Listen. The scepter shall not depart from Yehuda, nor a lawgiver from between his feet.
Now come on, man. Who gave the law? Moses gave the law. What tribe he was from? He was from Levi. Yahushua ain't getting no law when he came. Don't come in no law of Christ. He ain't get him no law. They already had the book. He was letting you know, but we missed it. Come on back to Isaiah 33 and 22. I didn't want you to see the Lord with the lawgiver. He the judge. Read it from the top again.
Say, for Yahuwah our judge, Yahuwah our lawgiver, Yahuwah our king.
Who?
Our king.
Is this not man? Ain't this man going to be ruling over the house of Yasharal as King of Kings, man? Didn't Deuteronomy 10 say he King of Kings and Lord of Lords? Listen what else he said.
He will save us.
Who coming to save you?
Yahuwah.
And who came and saved you in the flesh? Yahuwah did. See, pause. Let me tell you something, right? And guess what? When you look at that, Yahuwah gave that to who? Adam. Was not Adam a judge? Was not Adam a lawgiver? Was not Adam king? The only thing Adam wasn't was a savior. Ain't that right? Mm-hmm. That's the only thing he couldn't be. Because remember, he said, only in throne and power am I greater than you. He said, my father is greater than. Was not Adam a judge? He gave him dominion. That means he could be the judge. Clearly, he was king. He had dominion and rule over the whole garden. He gave the law to Eve. But he couldn't be no savior because that was reserved for one. You know what I'm talking about? See, that's what a lot of brothers don't realize, man. These men come to fulfill the text, but the prime work was only reserved for one. Now, we will read this 1 Corinthians 5 and 5 one more time, man, so I can get this point and get these people out of here, man. Man, Kadeem, man, I text you too, man. You ain't even text us back, man. You know what I'm saying? Tighten up on your backstroke, baby, man. You're slacking on your macking, man. You're limping on your pimping. Come on, man. 1 Corinthians 5 and 4.
Saying in the name of our Lord Yahushua HaMashiach, whom you are gathered together in Maruach with the power of our Lord Yahushua HaMashiach, to deliver such a one unto Hashatan for the destruction of the flesh.
For the destruction of the flesh, but the what?
The Ruach may be saved in the day of the Lord Yahushua.
That the Ruach might be saved. Now, I'm going to read y'all something, right? I'm going to read you Genesis 3 and 6, man. I want you to walk with me, man. You know what I'm talking about? And listen what he say. And when the woman saw that the tree good for food and that pleasant to the eyes and the tree desired to make wise, she took of the fruit thereof and did eat and gave also unto her husband, and he did eat. You see, this is for the destruction of her flesh. The eyes of them were both open and they knew that they were naked. They sewed what together? Aprons. And they made themselves what?
Aprons.
Tell them what aprons is here, man.
Carburet, that's a girdle, a belt, a loin covering.
They made a loin covering. You know why they made a loin covering? To cover their nakedness, because their sin is exposed. Let's continue. And they heard the voice of Yahuwah Elohim walking in the garden in the cool of the day, and Adam hid themselves from Yahuwah Elohim amongst the trees of the garden. Hit this Hebrew 10 and 25, man. Let's see why Adam hid himself.
So not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together as the manner of some, but exhorting, and so much the more as you see the day approaching. Mm-hmm. For if we sin willfully, after that we have received the knowledge of the truth, there remain no more sacrifice.
He said, if we sin willfully, what?
After that we have received the knowledge of the truth, there remain no more sacrifice.
There remain no more sacrifice.
A certain fearful looking for judgment.
A certain fearful looking for what?
Of judgment.
Fearful looking of what?
Of judgment.
Was not Adam in there looking for fearful looking of judgment, man?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's all we wanted to read. Let's continue. And Yahuwah Elohim called unto Adam and said unto him, where are you? And he said, I heard your voice in the garden. I was afraid because I naked and I hid myself. He said, who told you you naked? Have you eaten of the tree whereof I've commanded you that you should not eat? The man said, the woman you gave with me, she gave me of the tree and I did eat. Guess what? The woman he gave to his son Yasharal, you ate of the tree. And he did eat. Because you sinned first. He came to see. That's what. See, Adam couldn't do that. See, you peeped that. He throwing her under the bus. See, I mentioned the Job 31 and 33. We got to come back to that. Y'all willing? We do it tomorrow. You know what I'm talking about? We done did it before, but y'all willing? We gonna do it tomorrow. But a lot of people don't realize, man, that's what Israel did. Israel did the same thing. You ate. We don't want to talk about that. That's how you can see why he had to be made, born of a woman, made under the law. He had to be under the very same affliction. Let's look at the next thing, man. Hold on. Naked with shame, and he gave him up on a tree, just like Yahushua. That's right. And Yahushua was put up on that tree, nakedness exposed. That's right. Praise God. That's what went down. In verse 13, Yahuwah Elohim said unto the woman, what this that you have done? And the woman said, the serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. We don't need all that. We're going to drop down to where is the verse at? I feel like I'm looking right at it. Oh, yeah, there I am. Genesis 3:20. Get to this other point. And Adam called his wife, named Eve, because she was the mother of all living. And unto Adam also and to his wife did Yahuwah Elohim make coats of skins and clothe them. Before we read coats of skins, and some of you brothers and sisters remember what that is. And if you don't, we'll stir up your minds, pure minds by way of remembrance. But tell them what clothed is first. Lil Dookie.
Clothed is labash, to dress, to wear, to clothe, to put on clothing, to be clothed.
To be dressed, to be clothed. Now tell them what them coats of skin was for the people who may not have heard or have happened to forgot.
Coats is kephaneth, that's a
Kephaneth,
tunic.
what that is, that's a tunic. What kind of tunic?
An undergarment, a long shirt-like garment, usually of linen.
Usually of what?
Of linen.
He gave him fine linen. Give him Revelation 19:6 on the house. Yahuwah made them a tunic or a garment of fine linen. He clothed them with that. You see how he was showing you later that even though he gave her over to Satan for the destruction of the flesh, but to save her spirit for the day of the Lord Yahushua, he gave him linen, man. Why is that important? Revelation 19:6.
And I heard as it were the voice of a great multitude, and as the voice of many waters, and as the voice of mighty thundering, saying, Hallelujah, for Yahuwah, for the Lord Elohim, omnipotent reign. Let us be glad and rejoice and give honor to him. For the marriage of the Lamb is come, and his wife have made herself ready. And to her was granted that she should be arrayed in fine linen.
She should be arrayed in what?
Fine linen.
It said to her she should be granted that she should be arrayed in what?
Fine linen.
And what is
white.
that? Clean and what?
Clean and white.
And that linen is what?
It's the righteousness of saints.
You see how that man put the righteousness of God on them, man? That's right, Brother Smoke. Amen. That mercy right there. Well, he put the righteousness of God on them, man. He didn't have to do that. He was showing you what he was going to do later. That I'll give you over to the devil for the destruction of the flesh, but to preserve your spirit to the day of the Lord Yahushua. That's why he turned around and you see, let me read in verse 21, 22, Genesis 3. Yahuwah Elohim said, behold, the man has become one of us to know good and evil. Now, lest he put forth his hand and take also of the tree of life, eat and live forever. See, pause. See, this is how you're able to be as God and be the sons of God, yet die like men and fall like one of the princes. You understand? Because now, because of faith, like we read in Jeremiah 17:7-8, now you could take from the tree of life and live forever with the knowledge of God, of good and evil. You know what I'm talking about? You got that ability that he restricted Adam from, taking us back to when he said in Hebrews 11 that he will not bring them all with us so they might be perfect. Bringing us back to dang, what jump is this in my mind? Bringing us back to what's in Galatians 3. When he say that faith was shut up until the time for it to be revealed. Also showing us what we were seeing in Romans, not Romans, what was we looking at? What we were seeing in Galatians 4 when he said that now you have the adoption of sons. See, Adam was already a son of God. He didn't need to be adopted. So when Yahushua come through, he giving you the opportunity through the second Adam to be what Seth and Enos was. To be what Noah wore. And maybe y'all willing, we'll look at that more in depthly on tomorrow. You know what I'm talking about? So you can see the contrast. So you can see that when people talk about the sons of God in Genesis 6, and you thinking them angels hunching on women. The only reason why we think them angels hunching on women because we are not searching the scriptures, because in them we think we have eternal life and they testifying of Yahushua HaMashiach. We're not believing on him as the scripture has said, therefore our inward parts are not flowing with living water. That man said, he that believe on me as the scripture has said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. Don't you know that those rivers of living water, according to Ezekiel 47 and Zechariah 14 and Revelation 21 and Revelation 22, them waters don't never stop flowing. They continually produce. Don't you not know that he tell you in Jeremiah 17:8 that he that believe on Yahuwah, well, blessed is he that trusts in Yahuwah, whose hope Yahuwah is, that he likened you to the tree of life, and he say that tree never stopped producing fruit. And you know why that tree don't never stop producing fruit? Because that tree don't stop producing life, because Yahuwah is self-existing and self-sustaining. He never stopped producing life, because the true person who believe in Yahuwah, because the just live by their faith, because they have that faith, they consistently produce faith. They consistently produce love. They consistently produce long suffering. They consistently produce gentleness and goodness. They consistently produce joy, love, peace, self-control. That's what that means. You got dudes talking about weed and all, amen. You got dudes out here talking about weed and all this stuff is the tree of life. Shut your stupid behind up, you jackass. You can't find a tree of life out in the world, boy. That ain't no tree you plant in the ground, you dummy. We don't even realize that, man. Y'all, we don't even pay attention to that. Well, I know by the grace of Yahuwah, we are allowed to do that by his goodness and mercy. But a lot of brothers don't even pay attention that he compared those that believe on him to the tree of life. Ain't that what he said in Jeremiah? He literally compared those who believe on him and trust in him. He compared you to the tree of life. He said you wouldn't feel no heat, you wouldn't have no anxiety, and you would always produce fruit. Amen, yet die, man. That's what he compared you to. Ain't it, brother? Now I'm trying to tell you. That's what he compared you to. We literally talked a couple of weeks ago. He said the righteous are as a tree of life. He said a wholesome tongue is as a tree of life. He said those who don't walk in the way of sinners and sit in the seat of the scornful, he compared them to the tree of life. He's showing us what faith can produce. That's what Adam didn't partake in. He kept that from them. But he spared them to the day of the Lord Yahushua. That's why he gave them the linen tunic. That's why he put them out the garden instead of destroying them. Because he was showing us the example of the mercy that was coming. The same way he took Yahushua's body and destroyed the flesh, but preserved his ruach. You understand what I'm telling you? Because if he died, did he not destroy the flesh? But he preserved him. He's showing us this pattern of mercy that's going to be extended to those that believe on him. All you got to do is lay hold to the promise and endure. It's a reward on the back end. But hallelujah for Yahushua in the word, man. I appreciate y'all time this evening, man. I bless you out the house of Elohim in the name of Yahushua, because it's about 11 o'clock. We're past 11 o'clock. We've been on here 3 hours. That's long enough. Y'all willing, man, we'll be back on here on tomorrow. I did put in the community tab on the channel, man, the dates that we have for the feast days that's upcoming, and also the flyer, praise the Lord, man, and also the flyer from a man's fundraiser that he planning on this go around on February the 18th. The website on the flyer, you know what I'm saying? If you want more information about all that, how that going on, I think he said he's doing a spelling bee this time versus Bible Jeopardy. You know what I'm saying? Y'all looking at that on your own if that intrigues you, if that interests you. You know, purpose of the fundraiser is to raise funds for the development of 115 acres of land for like-minded believers if they have a desire to dwell in such a community with other people who believe in the word. You know what I'm talking about? So that's why it's on there. That's my brother. I rock with him. You know what I'm saying? I rock with what he got going on. So that's why I put it there. You know what I'm talking about? That's not no means or aims to extort, fleece anybody for some money. That's if you have a desire to assist him in what he got going on, or if you have a desire yourself to dwell in such a place. You know what I'm talking about? If the Lord allowed to facilitate such an endeavor. You know what I'm talking about? Amen, Brother Margaret, man. Thank you, bro. You know what I'm talking about? You stay safe out there too. Love you too, man. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. That's what that's about. If you happen to see that floating down your YouTube timeline, your subscription timeline to be specific. Some of y'all might not float down your subscription timeline, but I do. Not because I be looking for community stuff, but clearly adding videos to my watch later that I don't end up watching. You know what I'm talking about? Because now I'm about 1,700 videos deep of videos that I'm not watching or have not watched. You know what I'm talking about? So there's that. Oh yeah, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, man. We all good, man. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, just weigh and consider, man. Yahuwah is good and his mercy endures forever. Don't ever forget that, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't let these people tell you no different. Don't let these people sell you nothing different. You know what I'm saying? Because most of these people is goofy, retarded, and stupid and dumb. And they're not goofy and retarded and stupid and dumb because they're devoid of intelligence. They stupid, retarded, goofy, and dumb because they trust to their own righteousness and they don't yield themselves to the Amunah of Elohim that they might be perfected. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to be stupid and dumb if you see such a great opportunity and you forsake it to trust in yourself. You know what I'm saying? That don't even make sense. Like I said, we were talking with a brother the other day and we were telling him the aspects of faith with the law. He was like, these sounds like contradictions. And I'm like, how? How? Nothing in this say not to keep the law. We just saying that we trust in you. Hey, man, it's all good, man. Praise you, brother Smoke. You know what I'm talking about? Man, we just talking about, you know what I'm saying? You trust in God, bro. Of course you're gonna keep his commandment. Dudes act like talking about the commandments, like if that ain't all you talking about, like people gonna lose their mind. These niggas act like they gonna lose their mind or something. I had literally told this man, I said, bro, we could preach the law and preach Yahushua at the same time. You talking about preaching commandment, but that's a 5-minute conversation. Man, if everybody in here, everybody in this house, everybody on this YouTube screen probably for the most part, everybody in the clubhouse room, y'all already know what the laws are. So why would we be spending an inordinate amount of time talking about that? You already know what they are. You already know what they are. What we gonna talk about? You know you ain't supposed to be no homosexual. Ain't no sissies in here. Why would we be talking about sissies? Ain't no sissies in here. Ain't no idolaters in here. I pray ain't nobody disrespecting their parents. Now the coveting and the adultery stuff, that's another conversation. You know what I'm talking about? Because you could be coveted sitting in here. And I see that's different. You know what I'm saying? That's different. I'm not going to be talking to you about no shrimp. I'm not talking about that, bro. Ain't nobody around here eating no rabbit. You know what I'm saying? I don't think nobody out here trying to eat no duck. What we talking about that for, man? That's when dude go, chicken it's a vulture. Turkey is man. This what you want to talk about, bro? That's how you know niggas ain't got no word when they talk about stuff like that. When I say no, I ain't talking about when they talk about it. I'm talking about when that's the number one thing they want to mention. They want to take this and drag this out for weeks. Doing full detailed breakdowns on what a chicken is. He ain't got no word. You think Yahuwah sending somebody out here to talk about a goddamn chicken? Bro, it's people's souls in distress out here, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's people who thirsting for living water. And you think he's sending somebody out here to talk about a turkey, my nigga? And you think I'm goofy and stupid enough to believe that, bro? See, I'm putting this in perspective for y'all like this because I want you to pause and think. This man said in Luke 12 that it's his father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. This man said, we just read in Ezekiel 33, that he take no pleasure in the death of him that died. This man done said a whole bunch of things about a whole bunch of things, and you think the stuff that these dudes out here talking about, you think Yahuwah gave them that? You think Yahuwah gave them that to come out here and talk about? This man said the weightier matters of the law are judgment, mercy, and faith. And you think that he gave these boys a word to talk to you about chicken and turkey? About calendars, bro? That's what you think. You thought he gave them a word to come tell you was an Israelite. That's what you thought? Nigga, you finna die and go to hell, and you think he wanted you to come out here to tell somebody they're Israelite, and your soul is gonna be required, son. You still in your sins, and you think that's what he sent somebody out here to talk about, bro? I ain't saying you can't mention it. I'm saying you think that's what he sent you out here to talk about? Nigga, you's a bullfake. What that nigga say? You a fat face on lie, nigga. You a lie from hell if you ever told one. Straight like that. And I don't care who don't like it. And I tell Aaron one of these, because see, this is what these niggas like to say, man. Oh, you just this, that, there, and the third. You doing it for clout. Nigga, I almost said something I should not say it on this count. You know what I'm talking about? I almost said something because I almost said something very disrespectful. Let me tell y'all something, man. Who give a damn about clout? Only goofy niggas and suckers and niggas with low self-esteem care about some clout. How you looking for clout off the word? You understand how big of a jackass you got to be to want to preach the word so a nigga can know you? That mean your life miserable, nigga. Straight like that, man. That mean as a man, you are subpar because you trying to get some type of fame and name for preaching the word. Nigga ought to put on the biggest Timberland boot and kick you square in your butt. Come on, man. Who care about being known by you, nigga? Who care about being known by a bunch of sinners, nigga? If you ain't known for converting their soul by preaching the gospel, man, who care about being, what make you think a nigga want to be known by you niggas, man? What make you think a nigga want to be down with you niggas, man? What make you think you that important, brother? Nigga, who the hell you think you is, my nigga? You want to be like this here? Oh, yeah, man, I don't want to be known. I ain't no go along to get along. Nigga, I told y'all before, man, I don't perform fellatio, nor do I toss salads, my nigga. But if you 100, hey, man, I got respect for you, man. I'm going to rock with you. But at the end of the day, baby, you going in the grave just like I'm going in the grave. You subject to like passions just like I'm subject to like passions. I don't look at you men with awe. I'm not looking at you, oh, that's a great. Nah, brother, I don't. I give respect where respect is due, but I do not New Jack swing on a nigga nuts, boy. I promise you that. I don't. But I give respect to where respect is due, regardless if I agree with your doctrine or not. If it's an elder man who preached the word, I could believe his doctrine is utter trash. I'm going to still give him the proper respect that he do, period. And I'm not going to come at him about what he teach or preach. That's not what you do. That's not how you conduct yourself. I don't care if you don't agree with his doctrine. If that's not the time and the place for that, that's not what you do. You give him proper respect. So that's what's wrong with these boys. These boys claim God, and then, man, you boy don't even know how to move. That's why ain't nobody going to listen to you. All these niggas wanted to, man, I'm not debating with you niggas, man. Not doing none of that. You know why? Because you don't want to talk about what I want to talk about. I'm going to talk, because once you go to telling me you sin and you do this, that, there, and the third, I can't debate you. There's nothing to debate with you about. Get your soul together. Then I'll come back and talk to you. Because if you still around here rubbing them out and rubbing on them, what am I listening to you for? You ain't qualified to have this conversation. See, the one brother don't want to talk about that, bro. They don't want to talk about that, man. That nigga, that's stupid. They don't want to talk about that, man. They don't want to talk about, boy, if you out here playing with sin, you ain't qualified to have this conversation. What you gonna tell me, brother? Because I want to save my soul. Talk to me about that. I don't care about we Israelites. I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about Mr. Charlie. I don't want to talk about that. When them men say, Master, increase our faith, I'm asking you that. Increase my faith, brother. Can you do that? Can you give me a word that'll increase my faith? Because if you can't do that, my nigga, get out my face, bro. I don't want to talk to you. You ain't serving what I'm looking for, my G. I'm good. I'm not saying this here to be disrespectful. I'm saying this for y'all to have the proper mindset and perspective when you come across people, man. Your life on the line, my G. It's not no game. You're going to meet this man. It's up to you how you meet him. Because you could meet him with a sword in your hand, or you could be on the other side of the sword. That choice is yours. You could meet him with white robes, or you could meet him with blood on your chest. That choice is yours. You know what I'm saying? But you've seen that the choice is there because he extended the mercy. The right hand of fellowship has been extended. What you going to do with it? You know what I'm talking about? Man, let me tell y'all something, man. Real deal, man. We just were talking about this with a brother the other day, man. If you don't have that man's spirit, boy, you don't belong to him. And you can't get this man's spirit by keeping the law. I don't care what these brews tell you. I don't care what they tell you. And I'm telling them goofy behind nigga that right now. And any one of them square head, box head niggas want to talk about it, we can talk about it. You know, I was talking to a nigga yesterday, man. This nigga talking about when I was telling him, man, that we believe that the whole book about Mashiach, he running in his mouth. I said, man, well, you could just dial 904-401-9912, my nigga. We can talk about it. What I want to call you for? I say, nigga, ain't that's what men do? You got a problem with what I'm talking about, my nigga? I don't want you to have my phone number. I started to say, pussy, nigga, what make you think a nigga want to call you? I was offended. I don't want you to have my phone, nigga. Nigga, what you think I want your number, nigga? What you think I want a man, my nigga? And the reason why I say that, because my nigga, all those out, man. But when niggas used to be going back and forth on Facebook, bro, I used to just put my phone number on there, bro. You call me, bro. I'm not finna go back and forth on this app with you. And niggas will sit back and look crazy. I'm like, bro, we men, bro. Men are supposed to be able to have a conversation. So if you have a problem with my point of view or perspective, bro, you could call me and we could talk about it. Whether we agree or not, that's fine. But if we as men can't talk to one another, bro, man, how you godly, nigga? Because all these pussy niggas want to do is debate, man. Men supposed to be able to have conversations, man, to understand each other's point of view. And if you as a grown man can't talk to another man, or it offends you because a man has extended the opportunity for you to talk to him so you can understand where he come from, pussy nigga, you ain't no man. And I mean it like that, and I said it like that, and I ain't taking it back. You is a pussy nigga, and you ain't no man. It ain't got to be no debate, brother. Look at me. I done told y'all there's plenty of time to tell you again, just because I talked to cuz yesterday. Trav cousin Calvin, man. That's my nigga simply because I had already knew him. You know what I'm talking about? Because obviously this Trav cousin. I forgot what it was he posted and nigga was discussing. I say, cuz, call me. When he called me, I say, man, I don't be with all that typing, bro. I say, man, I'm trying to understand your perspective, bro. Break it down for me, my nigga. And this man said, all these niggas on here arguing. He was like, you were the only one who just wanted to understand where I was coming from. I said, how can I have a conversation with you about the topic if I don't even understand where you're coming from, bro? We can't even have a conversation if I don't understand where you're coming from. I got to understand your point of view because you know why? Because I'm not trying to argue with you. I'm trying to see if we can meet in the middle. We might agree. You know what I'm talking about? But I ain't going to know till I understand where you're coming from. Men are supposed to be able to do that. Me and this man been down since then. Boy, that's been almost 10 years. You know what I'm talking about? Men supposed to be able to do that if you say you love your people and you love your brother like you say you do. I didn't have no relationship with that man like that at that particular time. But I do now just because of that. And that's my nigga. I roll with him. You know what I'm talking about? It's through whatever. It don't matter. And guess what? We done had conversations since then where we don't agree. That don't mean nothing. I don't be like, I don't fool with that nigga. He ain't agree with me. So what? Your love for your brother based on whether y'all agree or not? Unless it's a point of major contention. You know what I'm talking about? You can't tell me you that much of a sucker. You know what I'm saying? You can't tell me that. Somebody asked me today, well, you got a problem with brothers who got multiple wives? No, I don't care. Dang, somebody tagged me to talk to a nigga. I ain't even respond. You know what I'm saying? I was working. I was out there. You know what I mean? I forgot. And part of me didn't want to talk to the nigga anyway. You know what I'm saying? Not to the person who tagged me, because that was a lady. You know what I'm saying? But the nigga she wanted me to talk to. Son just said, me, don't talk to that nigga. You know what I'm saying? I really didn't want to talk to him anyway. Because I don't care how many wives you got. I'm not going to be like, I ain't going to fool with you. You got 5 wives. I'll let you know I don't rock with that. And why? You know what I'm saying? But as long as you don't come around here trying to spread that to any and everybody, bro, we good, bro. I'm not on that. I seen a young lady, what I showed you earlier, do to my, I want you to be my second. Man, look here, man. Boy, I smoke rocks, boy. I'm talking about, boy, you lying to me. If you ever hear any woman talking about, I came to her talking about, I want you to be my second wife, you're lying to me. You know what I'm talking about? I can't even believe dudes do that. I know dudes do that, but you know how goofy you gotta be, bro? You ain't even letting her choose. You desperate. You know what I'm talking about? You don't jump at no woman talking about, I want you to be my second wife. Man, let her choose, baby. That's not pimping, baby. Let her choose up on a player. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all boys out here making sucker moves, man. Talking about use a polygynist, use a dummy. That's what you is. I'm just not on that, man. There's a lot of stuff I ain't on. I just mind my business. You know what I'm saying? I don't get caught up. I was telling people that earlier, man, I don't know what all these people teach, man. That ain't none of my business. Why it's so hard for people to mind their business? And when I say mind their business, that means that my mind is focused on us. When I say us, I'm talking about the people in this house, the people on this stream, the subscribers to this channel, the people on this clubhouse, and Yahuwah willing any other people who he add on. You know what I'm saying? My mind is not focused on, let me prove these people doctrines wrong that y'all don't even know about and don't even care about. That's like being a man focused on another man's house when you got your own house. I'm not focused on that. That boy say intentional foul on the play. That boy, wow. I'm not focused on that. And listen, right? You ain't got to come around here and fellowship all the time. But guess what? If you holler at me, boy, I got you. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? It's all gravy, baby. We all in the same body, man. We all in the same house, man. You know what I'm saying? You just might live. We look at, man. We same seed, different womb, baby. You got to know that. See, I don't be with that same mother, different father, man. No, man. We same seed, different womb, baby. Kinship stronger when you're from the same seed. You know what I'm talking about? And that seed is the word of God. You know what I'm saying? So we same seed, different womb, baby. It's all good. It got to be love out here, man. We got to have some type of love for each other, man, or we ain't gonna make it. You know what I'm talking about? And I ain't talking about make it in the natural sense, man. I'm talking about your soul, baby. You ain't got no love in you, boy. You going to hell. See, I know dudes want to hear that. That's that Christian stuff. You finna Christianly go to hell. Because you hear love and you think soft, because you soft, nigga. We ain't talking about no emotional stuff, bro. We talking about the love of God, man. We talking about loving Yahuwah with all your might, all your strength, all your soul, and loving your brother as yourself, man. Yeah, man, we talking about sticking close, man. That's what he said, man. Them scales stick close, can't no air get in between, baby. That's what the book said, ain't it? That's what we own. Can't be on nothing else other than that. If you ain't on that, what is you really on? Nothing. So y'all make sure y'all stay firm out here in the faith, man. Paul, that sounded kind of funny. You know what I'm talking about? And rock on out, man. Keep your feet on that rock. You know what I'm talking about? Let that word rest in your heart, man. And just keep on pushing, man. You know what I'm saying? Keep on training and growing and developing your faith, man, and perfect yourself in Yahushua HaMashiach, man. And I pray for each and every one of y'all, man, by the grace of the living Elohim, man. You know what I'm saying? By the will of Abba and Shamahim in the name of Yahushua, man, he give you his Ruach HaKadosh, man. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, man, that's what we on around here, man. Spirit-filled people, man. Be filled with that man Ruach. You understand the joy of God, man. Have life in you. You know what I'm saying? That's what it about. Ain't about nothing else other than that, man. Get life in you, man. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got that, what you got? You dig? Y'all hold it down, man. It's about 11:30. I know Civic ready to go home. That nigga legs, and he can't feel his legs, man. Say they done fell asleep on him. A couple of y'all probably over here slobbing right now, farting. Talk about, I ain't sleep. You know what I'm saying? But you sleep. It's okay. It's okay. You know what I'm talking about? But hey, if you want the feast days, man, if you don't catch them in the community tab, man, you know, let me know. I shoot them to you. That's why I put them in the community tab for the subscribers. You dig? And you know what I'm saying? Now, if you want me to text them to you directly, I can do that. You know what I'm saying? The boy said, I ain't sleep. I can definitely do that. But in all sincerity, though, they in the community tab on the channel. So you can see them. If you have a desire to shoot down this way for any one of them, you know, just let me know. So proper preparations can be done. Y'all willing to, I think I mentioned it, but y'all willing, man. We want to try during Unleavened Bread, man, if the Lord permit, from April 5th, 6th, and 7th, man, to have some type of event, man, concert / fundraiser for the brother. I also mentioned to raise land for the money for on the land. You know what I'm saying? So prayerfully we be able to pull that off. You know what I'm saying? And just got to figure out how we're gonna do it for the fundraising purposes. You know what I'm saying? But y'all knows. But y'all willing, the more ability to be able to pull that off, the more I can be able to disseminate information on that. Because I still gotta touch back in, pause with some of the other brothers and sisters locally who in the word in their congregations, because we want to try to bring every brew in the city together, that possibly that we could have an annual event with the gathering of brews in Jacksonville, Florida, man. For sure, bro. For sure. You know what I'm saying? I already know you hip on that there, man. So yeah, that's the goal, man. That if the Lord allow, man, we could be able to do that annually. Shoot, maybe even twice a year, just because our weather good. You know what I'm saying? Even in the wintertime. To be able to bring all the brews in the city together, man, make something happen like that. But Yahuwah knows, man. We'll see, man. But y'all willing, man, till tomorrow, man. All right, Club.